Absolutely, guys. First wins of the day. Very important to go ahead, get those in live this weekend. I believe there's some crystals on the line this week. I'm not sure exactly how many you can get. I think it's around 80 actually if you get all 3, somewhere in that neighborhood. But make sure that you're out there getting your first wins of the days. And we also got the PTS up and running. I got in there last night.
That's right.
AB.
We apologize for the audio issues that have been coming forward. If you can or you can't hear me, we apologize. PTS coming through, Nick. That's going to be at forums.paladins.com if they want to download that and get playing.
That's right. And I think it's also actually hooked up on Steam as well. So if you do have Paladins through Steam, you can go ahead and get it through that way. It's been a lot of fun, and Nara's been crazy, crazy fun to play. She's so tanky, and she doesn't use a shield, so it's like a cool new way of being tanky. Ruckus is the only one that was kind of messing with that damage mitigation before her.
That's right. So, of course, heading into this weekend, we want to get into the matches as soon as possible. Let's let you know what's going on, who's going to be playing up first. Of course, in this bracket, we've got Wolves Esports, we've got D69, we've got Burrito, and we've got Interlopers. Your first game of the day should look like this. Uh-oh, nice little graphic here. We're in the background. Oh, now we're fading out. D69 versus Burrito will be match 1. Match 2, Interlopers versus Wolves Esports. And then we'll go back on the third match with D69 versus Interlopers there. And then finally, Burrito will play Wolves.
And that's a hell of a match to start with. District 69 versus Burrito, the finalists from the HRX Invitational. The big heavyweights, the match that everybody wants to see, everybody knows and loves. Theo's on vacation, so this isn't 10 out of 10 just yet. You know, at HRX, Bugsy wasn't there, right? Now we're missing Theo. Soon we're going to get this match. We're going to get this, both teams, all with the starting 5, the All-Stars. We're going to get it for you soon.
And 2 of their subs and players who are used to be on that team are now on Interlopers, so things have gone even crazier in this whole Paladins Esports debacle. But we're soon to be getting into the champion draft, the map selection for the first game, Nick. Breaking down D69 and Burrito. They've had a lot of history. You and I had the fortunate opportunity to cast them in ESL this week. D69 getting the better of Burrito there.
Yeah, they did. Like I mentioned, Theo's not back, so I think that it puts their dynamic in a little bit of a weird spot, particularly because their sub commander, he doesn't play tanks traditionally. He's more known for his Androxus, his DPS play, and I feel that's kind of maybe throwing them in a little bit of a weird spot right now. But the bans, they're going to be Stone Keep for Burrito and Timbermill for District 69. I actually like the Stone Keep ban.
Yeah.
Because I feel District 69 are just super strong on it.
Yeah.
Especially when Bugsy gets Drogo.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
We've got some nightmare type footage of Bugsy having like a 30-32 streak on Stone Keep and just being unstoppable. So Burritos say, not today. We will take anything but that. And in fact, Frozen Guard, kind of the stereotypical first pick map that we've seen a lot of these teams go for.
You're right, yeah.
It's weird.
It is getting to that point. Not something that we're used to seeing. Pre-season 1, the map picks were more the Jaguar Falls, the Serpent Beach, the Frog Isles, but Frozen Guard has definitely been coming into favor here for the first map pick, as well as Ying coming into favor for her first pick in the draft.
Well, it's no surprise. Ying's been a strong pick, and she did just receive some nerfs in this current patch evaluation with the balance updates, but that's not in effect yet. Ying still very strong, still very powerful, lifelike, basically increasing her healing by 2 times. D69 follow up with a first pick Torvald and a Grok. So, Nick, having a lot of priority over the granddaddy here.
The Grok, yeah, the Grok doesn't surprise me as much. Grok's starting to creep up just under Ying, just in that second round of the draft. He's normally getting snagged up, but the Torvald does surprise me a little bit. That is something that hasn't been in favor in Europe overall, but District 69 in particular, Elven Path has been playing this a lot and finding great success with it.
Makoa and Barrick locked up for Burrito Esports. It's D69's chance to find an answer in response to what seems like a very tanky, deployable nightmare type lineup for Burrito. D69 offer then go with some damage on Drogos, be able to clear the area quickly. We've seen Combustible kind of come into its own as a legendary choice. The extra damage and knockback on the Fire Spit, and now Ruckus here to add some extra tank protection.
Cassie, actually, I think this may be the first time we've seen Cassie
in a while.
Since in a while. I don't want to say since the legendary, but production's telling me that it is the first time we've seen her since the legendaries come in. It's going to be very interesting. I would like to see or go for big game, actually.
Yeah,
against this double tank.
Well, we actually saw Eliminate run big game very, very effectively in ESL. In these games, he was hitting for 1,500 to sometimes 2,300 on a single shot. That's the legendary that gives you the disengage ability to hit 30% of your target's max health if you hit them in the air. But Maldamba's going to follow things up for D69. They've got a lot of healing, a lot of tankiness on both sides. And we'll see as we get into game one here, the Masters Qualifiers. It comes down to this. Teams are trying to get these wins early. Lazy will be on Bomb King running Accelerant. Eliminate on Cassie running big game as well. Pluck for Makoa taking the Dredge Anchor talent. Fortify for Barrett getting the extra shield health, and Lifelike for Ying, standard pick for her.
District 69 will have a Ripened Gourd for Gareth Maldamba. Cheapest Grok going to be running the Maelstrom. Field Study for Elven Path's Torvald. Bugsy's Drogoz will be running with the Fire Spit just to supplement that damage. And Aerial Assault, so the mobility legendary coming out for Peridot. And you can see the even splits between the Wreckers and the Cauterize here. And Eliminate on this Cassie is the big one for me, because not only can he shred the tanks effectively, but for me, he's the best one to take down Bugsy's Drogoz right now.
Absolutely.
Cassie does have the quicker projectile, so it's not as difficult. She's not quite that hit scam, but she's going to be the one to do it.
And with Grok coming in on the Maelstrom, it's so easy for him to use those Ying illusions and get the damage onto his teammates. Bird already finds first blood onto Peridot, though, as Eliminate is in the back side. Over on the right, trying to find mid-air shots on the Dragon. Hits one, and his disengage is up. This could be big damage onto somebody. He wants to find Drogoz. He does with a blast shot. Rolls away. Eliminate playing well so far. 2 streak for him, and Burrito in control, 48% on the point.
Has to be careful. Doesn't have the Chronos online just yet, so those rolls are a little bit staggered. Even if he does hit his incitement shot, his first shot after rolling, 68% and climbing on the point for Burrito. Nice hook out. Gonna put a lot of damage into Ruckus. He's gonna stay alive for the time being, though. Gets the emitter shield up. Eliminate trying to take these tanks down. Has a good angle on him to do so.
Wow, incredible. Just that they stayed alive there. Ruckus still in this fight thanks to Elven Path coming over on the Torvald, keeping him alive with the protection. A lot of damage here. We've stayed on Eliminate's perspective, and he's just been in this fight constantly, Nick. No one's been able to deal with him, and that's the big key. Burrito have this damage dealer that has been not stopped. And D69, I think, have to have an answer for him if they're to finish this point and win it.
96% for Burrito. Back in control of it, though. District 69. Beautiful shock pulse play coming out from Shipa. He's going to pop the Tempest just to get his teammates healed up, and that's basically how I've been using it as well. The Tempest on Grok. He's vulnerable while he do it. Bird finding a nice pick on the Elven Path. Overtime, though, is Tick. Burrito find the angle. Lazy trying to take out Shipa, and he will.
Great play by Lazy. Prioritizes the healing totem, then goes for the healer himself. Grok gets taken down. Burrito finished this one up. 1-0 goes the score to start things off over D69. The European Juggernauts are back in a big way, and it's up to D69 now to stall this push as much as possible. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. It's their job to get some momentum in this fight.
Yeah, this is a really good look for Burrito as well, because personally I feel District 69's comp falls off a little bit harder towards the late game, because Ruckus, he's very all in. He relies a lot on Jera just pocket healing him and keeping him alive, just like Elven Path is going to rely on that shield from Torvald. But once the Wreckers and the Cauterizes online, those tanks are going to fall off a little bit harder, I think, than Makoa and Barrack.
One of the things we don't even mention a lot is the Field Study ultimate with Torvald. The fact that he's able to go into the protection and give the 40% damage boost, but not only that, give that damage boost to a Ruckus, a free firing Ruckus, means that he's not only saving his life, he's giving him so much more damage and making it such a big threat. Lazy in the background, though, trying to go for the King Bomb. He needs to find one. He'll actually pick up Shipa. No healing now. Maldamba the only one alive, but he's by himself, and Lazy just pressuring him out of this. It's all Burrito right now.
Jera gonna just send back behind the wall here, wants to stay safe, doesn't want to get staggered from the rest of his team. 1 minute and 13 remaining on the clock for Burrito to find their push. Long range bombs coming out, poking the Ruckus lower and lower. We got the dome shield here from Bonkers Barrack to try and force this one in. We'll see when he lets the pop. He's posturing like he wants to.
Goes into it early there. There's the Torvald Hyper Beam. It's still going to work despite the shield there. So almost a dome shield wasted in essence, but still gets hit the pressure from Torvald in response by Elven Path. So in many ways, they've traded 2 key ultimates, and now they've still got the Ancient Rage on their side. Theo, actually Bird, misses the hook, but tries to go back in. He knows he's got the Ancient Rage. He's got a great bait here. If they can pick up 1 kill and then go into it, this could be huge. 30 seconds left. The payload is imminent, almost about to be pushed, but they still haven't found the answer.
Does Bird pop the Ancient Rage here? It's such a big cooldown, and he's relatively all alone. He's gonna go into it. He doesn't want to go down just yet.
Nice hook there coming in on the Maldamba. Swing for swing for swing. Trying to finish off anyone on D69, but the healing is too much. They're too compact. They look like they're going to stabilize here, especially with that ultimate wasted and Bugsy free firing in the back line. It is so strong for D69 here to show what they're worth, and Burrito know that despite winning the objective, they've still got their work to do in this set.
Cute long-range fire spit from Bugsy there. Holds on to the Dragon Punch as well. Doesn't pop that into the Ancient Rage. Hexafire is ready to go as well. And Jera almost got his ultimate charged up again. He is going into the deft hands. I'd like to take a look at Jera's loadout if we could, to see if he is running any other reload speed card to try and supplement that. But he's doing a great job of getting his ultimate charged up. Doesn't look like he is. Just going for a little bit more consistent snake stuns.
Well, Ritual Magic too, not something we always see. Heal for 45 health per second while healing an ally with Mending Spirits. Very, I guess, symbiotic with Spirits Chosen, which is his legendary that allows him to, while he's healing a target with Mending Spirits, if he heals them again, get an extra 300 burst heal. So not only is he burst healing them, he's kind of consistently healing himself there, giving him some more sustain in the fight.
It starts to add up, you know, over the course of a long fight. Throwing the Riven Gord in there, running that 40% slow on the Gord there. 21% already for Burrito. They sneak their way in there immediately, and a lot of times we see this come back to haunt teams when they give up these small little chip damage throughout the fight. Dragon Punch is charged. Will slay Bonker. Bugsy is going to be able to get out safely. Nice fire spit out the door. Another one. So much damage coming through from District 69. A sweeping victory in this first team fight.
Patience, timing. Bugsy comes in at the perfect moment without any stress. We've seen this camera angle before where it just feels like they're free fire. We've pointed out victors who have that opportunity on Burrito in the back line when they're playing against a lesser opponent. D69 here had the better end of that trade by a mile. Bugsy's able to go into a lineup that's meant to stay clumped up on the point and just use those fire spits, use those rockets, and do damage. It's 99%. There's no chance for Burrito to get back on. Right now, Perdo is free firing, and Bugsy picks up another one. Sheepa takes down Lemonade, and it is all D69. They're in the lead, 2-1 here.
Lazy is nowhere to go. He's pincered by Perdo, who wisely moved around to shut off the retreat of any remaining members of Burrito. 2 minutes remaining, and just a beautiful zone. Perdo dismounting the rest of Burrito as they were coming back off of their spawn was something that really helped them put Burrito in that awkward situation. You saw Bonker just kind of had to throw himself on the point, was dead before he even entered the room. It's those types of plays, those types of strong forward zones that separate the veteran teams from the noobs.
There's the Maelstrom coming out from Grok, a little preemptive there, trying to keep his teammates alive and healthy. Here's the Hexafire as well. Lemonade takes down Bugsy though, and that is a huge piece of damage on the side of D69. We've still got an ultimate for Cassie available, but that's not going to make the difference in this fight. It's only a reveal. It will give her CC immunity, and with Torvald's ultimate, that could be the answer to avoid getting hyper beamed off the map if she ends up being the last defender. But Torvald goes down. Lazy picks up Elven Bat. Perdo still alive and firing, but Lazy here to answer the call for Burrito, and he's going to go and help them stabilize here with 1 minute and 14 seconds now for the push.
This character, so much stopping power. Nice long-range shot onto Bugsy. Won't do much. Just poke him out a little bit. Send a message. Minute remaining here. Poppy bombs away. Bomb King, a character just with immense stopping power. Once he gets into a rhythm, into the backline, we see a lot of guys starting to play him more almost aggressive, right? 2,700 health, one of the harder hitting characters in the game. He has, you know, the tools to get in the backline and get in that rhythm and slaughter everyone.
Wow.
See how much damage he's able to pump out. Lemonade helping with that kill from range, but still such a lethal character and a fan favorite at that.
And so good with Wreckers as well, dealing with the Torvald in particular, who has that personal shield. And so does Ruckus, very stationary targets who aren't using those shields to help them, their teammates, but more so to help themselves. And when you talk about the protection, he gets rid of that very, very quickly. And without that, there is no extra damage coming along to these teams. He's focusing the healing totem, but now he's caught up in the gourd. Lazy's in a bad spot. He's got to try and run, but it looks like he is trapped, and that will be be the kill. This might be what they need. Lazy, a little bit over-aggressive here. D69 with a chance to push this in.
It's an important overextension here. 6 seconds of Lazy will be up right as the overtime comes through with the Dragon Punch. Is sending somebody back to spawn. Bird just gets inside of the door. Bugsy looking for it. Bugsy narrowly connects, but Bonker is able to trade out.
Maelstrom gets popped, but cannot get the value either. Birdo now by himself with Moldamba. It's not going to be able to do it. Bird swings, and it's a home run. Takes down 2 with the help of Eliminate and Lazy, and defend this one successfully.
King Bomb still on the board. Illusory Rift from Sun Commander as well. And the only ultimate for District 69 is going to be Jera's Dread Serpent. And you see these quad master ridings coming out from Burrito. They want to get on the point first. They want to help their Barrett get set up. And this is what was leading to that little 21% point advantage they had in the previous round. And now it didn't help them out last round. But that sort of little chip damage, every second counts on the Pele. It makes the difference between just capturing the point outright or getting into a big overtime mess. And you never want to have, you want to take these points as clean as possible, especially when you're up against veteran teams like District 69, who, albeit, have responded with 3 master ridings of their own, just trying to keep the playing field level.
Exactly. You see your enemies do one thing, and you know you've got to go and respond with it. May not be your optimal choice, but for the game, they force you to do it. The Shell Shield popped by Mako, eliminating the backside. 6 streak for him. And now, at the master riding, he's gotten himself into a good position to start. The Wrecker 3 is helping to finish off the Torvald and the Ruckus as well. They can't survive long, but neither can he. So he draws back to safety. 36% for Burrito. The Dread Serpent comes out. It's almost looking for a kill. No kills found yet, Nick, in this fight.
In this whole round, it feels like forever, Bonker. In a rough spot, Elven Path is as well. Very overextend, but he's going to be able to get the recharge off. Bird actually trades out positively with Bugsy in the backline. Lemonade has a great angle onto this District 69 backline. It's just about finding that confirmed kill. He takes his time. He wants to be patient. Nobody really wanting to step out of line just yet.
D69 doing such a good job of keeping their teammates alive, but I feel like the wall is crumbling here. There's 1, there's 2, 1 more for Lemonade if he can get it. Oh, Birdo with a great response. Bugsy actually gets the kill there, and Combustible, this is where it's going to prove valuable. Wrecker 3s will make sure the Makoa Shell Shield is down as soon as possible, but it doesn't matter because the prize has already been won. 3-2 for Burrito Esports.
That's where that chip damage comes into play. You see how, albeit that was one of the slowest played point fights I think I've ever seen, but that small amount of chip damage, 30%, 40% where Burrito was at, and then they were able to eke out that win in the team fight later down the line. That's all they need. They just needed that one team fight victory as a result of all that chip damage they had gotten on the point capture throughout.
Also, Sheepa getting caught here twice. He does not have the Ghost Walk up, but Elven Pav with protection able to help him out, and it ends up being a bait Combustible doing a lot of damage. The Wrecker 3s not doing the job of killing Bird yet, but there's the Combustible. There's the Fire Spit. He's going to get 1 more. This could be damage for Eliminate. Oh, but the disengage knocks him back, and he's got somebody on his tail. Bonker. It's going to finish him off with Barrick's brand new shotgun, which has admittedly been a very big introduction for him.
1 minute, 30 seconds remaining here. Jera gets hooked out and killed before he can return back. You see Lazy in the backline playing this Bomb King like a flanker, and that's just frankly the style we've seen people start to go with. Nice barricade to shut Elven Path off from the rest of his team. He will be able to escape off the back of his recharge. 1 minute and 16 remaining here, and Burrito are already very close to conversion.
Lots of damage going on to Bonker, but he will survive for now. No kills there. Grumpy Bomb. Look at his zone. King Bomb available. Lacy might try to poppy in. He sees them set up. This could be the poppy. There's the ult. Wants to get 1. Wants to get 2. He's going to miss out on 2, but he's going to get 1 at least, and that's Elven Pass, so no more protection shields on the side of D69. But there's a Dread Serpent in response. Lazy's still alive and looking for Grok, but he can't find him. They've committed a lot, Burrito. They want to push this in and win the game here. It looks like they could. Forcing Bugsy down, but that will be the end. Burrito claim victory over D69 and find themselves a win here.
Great team fight there from Lazy. We followed him. He basically was able to stay alive start to finish despite being, I can't say overextended because he didn't die. He was just very deep in the team fight. Stayed alive, found I think 2 or 3 eliminations, found a kill with his King Bomb, found Sheepa thereafter. And just at the last second, I don't know if it was as a result of the elimination onto Bugsy or not that Burrito were able to find the win, but they were very closely coalesced there. 20 eliminations for the King and for Bird. Topped by only Lemonade, 103k damage on this Cassie. Very close to Bugsy's Drogos and Sheepa's Grok, which is a very tall task.
Hey, very, very impressive stuff. They're still getting the value they want from Grok, picking up Maelstrom as legendary. A lot of control in the fights, a ton of damage. He's been breaking 100,000 damage very, very consistently here as a support, which is, what this legendary does. But again, the big story for me, not being able to kill Ying. Sun Commander, only one death. By and large, the difference variable here in all of these teams that this man could only die once, and with 166,000 healing, he was a serious reason that they were able to continue pushing like they did there.
And just good Yings being so hard to bring down. It's something that you highlight very often. And, Dimensional Link is it's kind of a tough ability to wrap your head around at the start of it. But once you get mastery of it, you just see how difficult it is to bring these Ying players down, especially if they go into loadout cards to supplement the duration in which they're able to just blink around the fight. And you have to make that decision. Like, you want to kill the Ying, obviously, but if she's just blinking around, she's just wasting your time for 3 seconds. The rest of Burrito's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And that's the tough decision you have to make.
And that's why they won those poke battles. I mean, the fact that they committed resources to killing the Ying and then maybe took a little too much damage. Were able to get saved by Elven Path with the protection, but that was more of a last-ditch effort to try and keep everyone alive. They really were just slowly but surely crumbling as a result of losing a big chunk of health, committing resources, trying to kill the healer, trying to get the sustain down, but just couldn't do it.
And flankers aren't particularly popular right now amongst these top teams.
Yeah.
So it makes it that much more difficult. It makes the supports that much stronger when they don't have any flank pressure on them. There's no one that can really get in the back line and mix it up unless, you see Lazy take a Bomb King into the back line and just start swinging and try and take as many people down with him as possible. But
that's right.
That's game number 1. Game number 2 will be on Serpent Beach.
Serpent Beach, very kind of standard map. All of these teams find value in Serpent Beach when not really a lot of idealized moments of taking advantage of another team. It's really just like, well, we can win a team fight, and we also have the opportunity to come back and contest if we lost the first part of this. Whereas Ice Mines, you lose that first part, the contest is almost impossible because of the limited routes to get back to it.
If you're just picturing the spectrum of maps, you got stuff like Jaguar Falls in terms of like super closed in, Frog Isle, easy to push short payload lengths, and then at the other end of the spectrum you got your Timber Mills, you got your Ice Mines, things that are wide open, extremely long payload pushes. Serpent Beach is pretty much dead center in the middle.
Yeah.
It's kind of got everything. It's got verticality to it. It's got line of sight breaks. It's got all kinds of good stuff. I'd say a medium length payload push. It's not impossible to do.
Yeah.
But it's not super easy. The momentum based compositions are kind of helped to tilt it that way towards the Frog Isle heavily momentum. We saw Astral Authority just steamroll this map in what felt like less than 8 minutes with a very carefully calculated composition that is heavily based on momentum.
Yeah, we saw so many. We've seen so many top plays coming here, and we've seen so many opportunities for great plays and great players to make a name on Serpent Beach because it is no map advantage. It is a lot of times the skill advantage that is the difference maker. We're going to come back after just a second. We've got to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 2 coming up here on Serpent Beach.
So cover me, 'cause I'ma let you out, I'ma let you in.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to the Masters Qualifiers. I'm Rene. This is High Res Pretty Hair. Unfortunately, we are still experiencing some technical difficulties, and so we're going to keep you all posted as soon as we can. It's a bummer, we know, but we want you to stay tuned, and as soon as we know something, we will be getting back to you here with an update. So keep your channel open. Make sure you're still watching and you stay aware of what's coming. We'll update you as soon as we know something, and you'll know something because we start casting. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a second. Thank you for your patience, and we apologize again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Paladins Masters Qualifiers. I'm Rainy, this is High-Risk Pretty Hair. Again, we are still experiencing technical difficulties, unfortunately, so we want to keep you updated on the next steps of the process. We're going to keep trying to work them out, and we will keep you notified basically via 15-minute intervals. But remember, while you are actually still here in chat, in stream, you're able to earn loot if you link your account on High-Res.
Absolutely. The linking's so important. Free Radiant chests. If PTS is up, go see if PTS is up. You can get in there and start playing that. Get some Anar games in.
Yep.
Get you looking right.
And again, when things get resolved, we will jump right back into the game. So if you do have your stream open still, that means you'll be able to catch the action. Even if we have 10 minutes left on the timer, when we're ready to go, we will jump back into it. Again, we thank you so much for your patience. We apologize again, and we'll be back in the game as soon as possible. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Masters Qualifiers. And this time, I got good news for you. We're back ready to go into game number 2. My name is Rene. This is High Res, Pretty Hair.
That's right. We went out. We showed that server who's boss.
We told that server.
Won't be messing with you ever again.
Yeah, ain't coming back. All right, I have no promises on that. But what I do know is we have game 2 coming up for you, and it's going to be exciting. Let's recap game 1, though, Nick. Frozen Guard went the way of Burrito.
Yep, Frozen Guard 4-2 for Burrito. Finding that capture and the conversion in the last round, just a little bit of momentum, just a slight window. Beautiful team fight from both teams. I expect this to go the distance. These are best of 3s, guys. These won't be best of 5s like you're used to from the open brackets. We got 4 sets today. We got to fit them all in.
So it's going to be Serpent Beach as game 2. We talked about this before we left off in the broadcast earlier, and it's that Serpent Beach is kind of that middle, kind of average map where you're not too far, you're not too close. It's got open space, but just enough tightness to make sure there are a lot of engagements, and teams have to be wary about getting caught in a bad position. Going into this map, it is definitely going to be D69's onus to try and get themselves back in this game. And of course, the champion draft will be coming up right now. We'll see what D69 can do to mix things up and give them a chance at tying up the series.
They will have first pick here. I expect them to take Ying. It's been, highly prioritized throughout. The nerfs for her have not come through just yet.
Yeah.
Those will be in the next patch. So she's still going to be that top priority, and flanks are starting to fall more and more out of favor.
Sure.
And obviously that being the class designed to get in the back line, take her out, it makes the perfect storm, right? She's really strong right now in combination with flanks really kind of being out of favor right now, so there's no one to test her, to contest.
Yeah, and especially in this meta, right? It's not necessarily, just width of North America as well. There are still some flankers being played. And you even see D69 play play Androxus quite often, but still you see a lot of damage dealers and tanks and healers prioritized more than the flank class. Right now, Burrito Esports follow with Barrick and Torvald. So again, Torvald coming in the top 2 spot, top 3 draft overall. And then Makoa and Grok, something that Sheepa has really loved and Elvin Path has loved in the past.
Yeah, Barrick highly prioritized as well. Bonker's been playing that.
He's
Burrito.
good right now.
He is, yeah. Drogo's still on the table. I would be surprised if Burrito didn't take the Drogos here. They could take the Maldamba, just take it later. The Androxus is a good look. The Maldamba, I want to talk to them today. Be like, why are we taking Maldamba, not last? Anything but last. District 69 already have 2 healers. Maybe they just don't want the situation to come up where they get Maldamba and another frontliner.
The question is, maybe they're looking at saying we want to flex pick that last role and we don't want to let them know so they can counter pick into it. For instance, if they take like the Ruckus or something, I mean, granted, Victor and Drogo still very good counters to a stationary Ruckus, but maybe they want to just say, hey, we want to make sure that you're not countering us with your last 2, and we can really counter you. So we go with something obvious that you already know we're going to take. Cassie gets swallowed up by Burrito Esports, and that is Lemonade's bread and butter right now. He's loving big game. He's killing the game with it, and they didn't have an answer for him last time on Frozen Guard.
Yeah, they're going to have double frontliner here, as well as some flank pressure this time, and the Victor picked into an Androxus, so we'll see if Burrito able to use that character, that flanker, to punish out some of the backline characters from District 69. We'll go ahead and bring up the tab scoreboard here so we can take a look at some of these legendaries here. Jera most likely running that lifelike for her Ying. Gunnery, Iron Sight build for Perdoz. Victor Pluck for Elvin Pass. Makoa. Fusillade, the direct impact damage for Bugsy's Drogos. And Maelstrom, of course, for Sheepa's Grok.
Bonker, looks like he's running Dark Stalker, giving them those 3 separate charges for Nether Step. Fortify for Barrick. Extra health to the shield. Big game for Lemonade, trying to hit those big targets on the other side. Field Study for Torvald. 40% more damage on those shields. And Spirits chosen by Maldamba. He's going to make sure he heals up a little bit more, a little more sustain. And going into this fight, he is going to need it. There's a lot of damage on the side of D69. Perdo on the Victor, Bugsy on that Drogos, and man, this is definitely a lot of pressure. They go with 3 wreckers and 2 cauterizes to start.
Yep, the Torvald is going to be struggling to stay alive. Lazy's going to need all 4,000 of that additional health. Path gets dismounted pretty early. Nice barricade on the low ground from Lazy, trying to get set up and creep their way into a favorable high ground position.
Elvin Path already drops to the bottom, says not worth it. Gets a good pick, and he's got the pluck, so the bonus damage will be there. Silence from Torvald means he'll avoid a few shots, but the damage is real. Elvin Path gets the help of his teammates to finish one off. There's a nice hook as well. Elvin Path with the double kill here, even though he was so low, and now Jera keeping him nice and healthy on the Ying. This is going all D69's way. 42% so far in the capture objective.
And even with their cauterizes, that's just it. Even that small little window after the anchor, during the anchor, where Elvin Path is not being, under pressure, he gets healed up so much from me when the cauterizes aren't online just yet. Barely gets that shell shield up, but Bonker able to get under the shell and take him out.
That's a very good point, too. He's just able to get the use of Jera, be able to just buy enough time for his teammates to come in clutch. That's the role here that D69 play together. When they are firing on all cylinders, they are a threat to be wary of. It seems like they've got the first capture objective, in fact they do, of the day. 2 minutes now for them to push it in, and a little bit of change. D69 doing well. This Victor not really getting pressured by the Androxus, which is not what you would expect, especially with a Torvald able to bubble him up and give him the opportunity.
Walker needs to be careful, finding his angles so carefully. That's sort of why flankers have fallen out of the meta recently, is because there is very little margin for error on these squishier flankers. They do have the mobility, but just one step out of line, and they will be punished by these top-tier teams. Just trying to find the angle now is Peridot on the 5 streak, dumping headshots into Lazy. A lot of damage on the Dwarf. Let's see a cursed arm on the backside. Bonker's already found 2.
That's good damage, but look at that, already almost dead, and there's the last kill. Lazy with the blunderbuss from Barrack finds the kill onto Peridot, and Bonker gets 2 onto the 2 healers for D69. Fantastic play there coming out from Bonker and the side of Burrito, and they're able to stabilize now. 1:30 on the clock. 1-0 for D69. They want to take advantage of this. 2-0 leads, they mean a lot in Paladins, and definitely takes the pressure off of them going into next round.
Not really moving out too far to zone. Elvenpath able to kind of abuse this, coming back in immediately, favorable positioning for all of his teammates. Find the pick on the Bonker, who I thought would be out forward zoning, dismounting people, but they just let District 69 ride straight back up to the payload.
Elvenpath guarding the payload. Pops the shell shield. He's going to have to wait for his protection to be on cooldown. Still can get out of dodge with the shell spin, but he decides to hook this target in, and look at the bonus damage. Look at the record 2 paying off under the Torvald. This is going to be it. He's got 3 now on him. Elvenpath goes down. Here's Bugsy, though, in the back line. Just decides to back up a little bit. The pressure's real from Burrito.
Beautiful response there from the rest of Burrito to keep Bird safe. They all came to his aid, and Elvenpath ends up being the one to go down, even though he was the one pushing forward onto Bird. 2 picks for 1. Burrito holding this defense strong. Only 30 seconds remaining. Another staggered pick onto Sheepa. It's going to make it more and more difficult the more picks District 69 give up. Almost every ultimate available for them, however. Burrito not having the dome shield, and they do not have the accursed arm, so have another 15 seconds to get those charged back up before any retake potential in the end of this round. They're going to want as many as they can going into the next round.
I'm not surprised that a successful defense and a very good stabilization from Burrito comes alongside with a 6 streak for Eliminate and a 5 streak for Bonker. They are going to be critical to this defense, and in fact, so critical that they're just going to just wade off any discussion about trying to go and attack that payload. They decide to leave it be. 1-1 goes to score, and now we start round 2 fresh, both teams tied up.
I think that was pretty wise, considering District 69 already have the ultimate advantage. They already have the credit advantage. They don't want to, let Burrito get their ultimates, chipped back up. They don't want to give them any more credits than they have to. That payload is still probably like a team fight and a half away from getting converted anyway. So I think that's a very disciplined call. That's a tough one to make, where you just say, you know what, guys, just let it go.
Yeah.
We're ahead in credits right now. Let's take all of our ultimates. Let's go into the next round, and let's just take the fight again like we did.
Well, they want to be patient. They've played against these guys so long, and part of having that history means that you are that much more determined not to lose, so you're that much more aware of the moments that could be dangerous in the past that you have lost. Bugsy now goes in, but so does Androxus. He narrowly avoids it and actually ends up picking Lazy, who rocket boots into the danger. What a direct shot. There's the follow-up. Mid-air fire spit. Great shot by Bugsy, but he's not going to find the kill. He will, however, find the pressure, and that's all D69 need right now. Again, another fire spit narrowly avoided by Bonker's nether steps. Darkstalker keeping him very healthy, very alive, and giving Burrito still a chance to come back into this.
Nice fire spit on the high ground. Will connect onto 2. Another long-range fire spit. Doesn't connect on anyone. Lazy pushing forward into a dangerous situation, it seems. Gets the Torvald protection from Bird, but no answer from Burrito thus far in this team fight. 3 for 4.
These 1275 hits, Nick, are just screaming to me. I mean, the fact that Bugsy's able to land those off the Elvenpath setup, it's just when you see D69 get going in this way, they're unbeatable. You cannot contest against this. They've got to stop the free-firing Bugsy. Great hook there by Elvenpath to seal the deal. That will be a unfortunate Barrack experience, but a very fortunate D69 capture yet again. And a great hook off the disengage. He will not die thanks to Big Game, and in fact, he will set one more up for Bugsy to finish the kill.
Long range hook there, and you see Elvenpath actually going into the resilience This is going to do a couple of good things for him. It'll actually make big game very difficult for Lemonade to hit. The knockback is going to be brought lower and lower. The Hyper Beams and the Dread Serpents here. Great pickup. Elvin Path has been kind of one of those early adopters in Europe of Resilience.
I love it, you know, and I love the ability to just recognize a team composition and know how to counter it. Sometimes the shielding for Wrecker can be very, very important. Sometimes you look at Torvald and say, okay, that's cool, but what is going to clutch this out for me? What's going to make the difference in these team fights, in these pushes? Ideally, that Hyper Beam picked up for Torvald to just clear out anybody from the objective. Elvin Path is the tank, knows he needs to stay there, and so knows that Resilience, that's going to be the one thing he has to avoid, is that huge Hyper Beam knocking him off the map and getting rid of that maybe 10k, 16k HP he might have stored up with an Ancient Rage ultimate available. Minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. Nick, kind of looking to group up here on the left side. Something's about to happen.
Yeah, Dome Shield comes out, though, to protect Bonker from any aggression. Elvin Path falling lower and lower, forced to fall out. District 69 have already pushed the payload about to where they did in the previous round, but they have much more time this time around to try and punch it through. Lazy's going to go down first. Bonker tries to answer back with an accursed arm, but gets nothing for it.
Great stuff there by Bonker, though. It's 3 in a row onto Jera, and that is huge. It's another 2 onto Perdot, and now the protection. He's dashing through, 837 headshot, and now the reversal's probably going to get some damage. Will not, but Torvald will shield him up as well. Good damage, though, from Bugsy, and Bugsy takes him down, although Lazy finds Bugsy in the process. But meanwhile, Elvin Path and Sheepa are still alive. This is a very dangerous escort, especially if they can pick up Lazy here on the barrack. Can they get him? He's just dodging and diving, but that hook is going to do so much for them. The push is successful. Wow, Croc and Makoa, Elvin Path and Sheepa clutch it out.
No answer to the momentum off the back there. Lazy seeming like he's a little bit disjointed from the rest of his team almost. Caught out in a couple of situations there. He looks like it sucks that he is the one, but because Barrack is like, we don't traditionally treat him as the you know, the last stand guy who's just going to throw himself on and have something go right for him. He is a character that likes to get set up on, you know, when the momentum is not on his side. Barrack just looks like he's struggling right now. Bonker, though, does have the Cauterize 3 online. Lazy getting Cauterize 2 online, as well as Lemonade. Hopefully, this is where Burrito can start to turn things around and shut down Jera's healing.
And this is Elvin Path making a huge difference here. We call out a lot of the damage dealers. You know, today, it's definitely been the tank, the front line here for D69 that's made the difference. Those clutch hooks just to finish off the barrack, and then to put him on a plate here for the rest of the team. The Shell Shield will be helpful. There's the Dread Serpent, though, and it's not going to mean damage enough to finish off Elvin Path, but it's going to give him the amount of time he needs to find one more hook onto Torvald. Jera still alive. The clone's still here, and Elvin Path, he's looking for Barrack. He gets rid of the totem first, pulls the dwarf back into danger. One more shot from the cannon could do it, but a Dragon Punch will seal the deal instead. 27% for D69, and they are in firm control of this game.
11 streak. Elvin Path has been all over Burrito. I haven't seen him really miss a hook, and he's hitting some seriously long-range ones as well. Really not afraid to go for it. There's finally a missed one. He does have the Shell Shield available to him, and he will just retreat to the safety of his team. 66% on the point, but Burrito starting to look like they're eking their way back into control at this point.
3 miss hooks in a row, Nick. It's the curse of the caster, the commentator, man. I mean, he wasn't missing any, and now finds himself at a bit disadvantage here, but finally gets back onto the point, and the second he hits one more, the second things start going the way of D69. The turret, just a perfect setup for Sheepa, who's running mercilessly at Lazy and trying to find even more damage. This Grok is not satisfied with 100k. He's only satisfied with a victory, and that one goes straight to D69.
I mean, there was just flawless positioning from District. In that last team fight, you saw Sheepa pushing the enemies on the high ground back with the shock pulse, and then they got knocked off the high ground with a fire spit, so they weren't safe up there. And then Elvin Path was waiting for them. Once they retreated off the high ground, there was just nowhere to go, nowhere to hide for Burrito, and a momentous swing in favor of District 69.
Well, if I become an engineer at another point in my career, I am not getting a pet turtle, because that turtle just bullied that engineer in that game. Lazy could not find any respite against Elvin Path's hooks, and in fact, it almost felt like Elvin Path was seeking out Lazy. Lazy with 9 deaths in that game, more so than any other player, and far beyond even his own team, who the highest next to that was Bird on the Torvald. You would think would be a very, very easy target for Victor and Bugsy, only with 6 deaths. So Elvin Path knew the key to that strategy was making sure Barrack had a bad game. It ended up working out for them, and D69 really sweep this up.
It was difficult for any flank pressure to come out on that backline as well. 2 great targets. You know, Bonker kind of being the answer to Drogos, and Droxus is widely considered one of the better counters to Drogos, but he's also got to be able to take out the Ying. He's also got to be able to take out Perdo. There was just too much for him to do in that backline. As a result, Lazy finds himself dead 9 times, and that's he kind of has to, right? He has to go in, he has to try and set up, and he has to rely on his team to be there for him.
I mean, it's weird. Look at the eliminations. You have 7 and 17 right there for Eliminate and Bonker. In fact, Eliminate gets almost 15 more thousand more damage than Bonker. And you have to say, Eliminate was really, I think, one of the keystones as well for their team and being successful. Bonker seems to have done his job, but it just wasn't working for them.
Yeah, it's a lot of poke damage coming out from Cassie, right? Where she's going to be able to hit long-range shots that do a lot of damage, and Ying's going to heal them straight up. Whereas you look at Bonker, Bonker's got solo kills. He's got 4 of them to Eliminate's 0.
Yeah.
So he's the guy that's trying to drive those poke targets home.
Yeah. Yeah, Cassie just so strong with no fall off. She's a projectile champion, and that means she can just shoot, and that arrow will hit as hard as it does right in front of your face and from the entire distance of the map. Now, talking about distance on a map, Jaguar Falls doesn't have too much to it. One of the shorter maps, definitely closed quarters, and that's where they'll be taking their talents to in Game 3.
Yep. The draft a little bit weird for me from Burrito. Weird. The Barrack and the Torvald in the... I don't know. Because it's like, we talk about how momentum-based Barrack is. He needs to get set up. And Torvald's kind of... He's like not that super front-liney, independent woman either. It's kind of like you look at Makoa's, you look at Fernando's, you look at Ruckus to kind of fill that role.
Yeah. Well, that's Inara, man.
Torvald kind of
she's the independent woman.
She's going to make a splash for sure, I think.
I am excited to see her jump into the realm. We got the draft started already. Burrito decided to elect for Ying first pick. That seems the standard, and both teams have had success. Yep. Actually, the first pick, Ying, has been the victor today. D69 now trying to switch it up. They go for the Grok and the Barrack, so no changes there. Very stubborn. Will Burrito answer again with something similar like a Makoa, following off? They have prioritized the Cassie a lot still. Will that stay the same?
Yeah, I definitely like the Makoa here. I thought that was, He was the king up until the legendaries, and he didn't lose a whole lot.
No, he gained some stuff.
Yeah, he just kind of gained, pluck damage. He gained 10%, flat, and basically everything else stayed the same. So the fact that District 69 got both of those characters, and now Burrito has both of those characters, those are going to be both very high impact players. And Lemonade, I think once the big game gets going here, Barrack is a much easier target, I think, to hit the big game with. Torvald as well. Characters that don't have low cooldown mobility, because if you look at someone like Ruckus, or if you look at Fernando or Shellspin from Makoa, when they get knocked up, they can just Shellspin or charge in a duration. And most of the time, that mobility skill is going to be up. Barrack having a longer mobility, and Torvald having no mobility.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot easier for Lemonade to confirm that percentage health-based damage.
And it's going to be just hard to just run away from him. And it's going to be hard to run away from Torvald and Barrack, though, because on Jaguar Falls, it's very close quarters. This is a great draft from Burrito, though. Bringing in the Bomb King and bringing in the Ruckus, which is so key here on Jaguar Falls specifically, because there's not as many places to impact the point fight and not get stunned. You really have to remove yourself from that fight a lot of the times. And, of course, Ruckus can just keep those lines of sight firing. Maldamba gets picked up last here. I don't know, man. Burrito have a very strong draft going into this. I like it on Jaguar Falls.
Lazy probably going to be playing the Bomb King. This, I believe, is identical to the draft that they won with in Game 1. So we know they're comfortable. They have what it takes to win on this. A lot of it rides on this guy right here, Lazy on the Bomb King. A newer character, I would say, that has come into his pool. But one that I have confidence that he can play to the highest of his ability. Accelerant, the mobility choice for him. Bonker yet to select a legendary. Big game for Lemonade. Flux Generator, so supplementing Repulsor Field for Ruckus. Pluck for Birds, Makoa, and finally Lifelike for Sun Commander's Ying.
Tanky. Maelstrom Grok there to handle the Ying illusions. See if they can bounce that shock pulse off. Field Study for Torvald. Extra damage on the shields. Direct shots. Fusillade for Bugsy. Ripen Gourd, the slow on the Gourd. Very impactful on a smaller map like Jaguar Falls. And Fortify. Barrack getting that extra 4,000 health just to be able to make that fight last a little bit longer for his team. Give them the edge in the battle and make sure he has time to recover before Elven Path throws his protection up to any team mate that is in need of it.
Triple cauterize for District 69. Immediately popping bombing in. It looks like it's about equivalent to the Master 1. First blood, though, picked up on the Sheepa, and that's what happens with Barrack. He gets shut down very quickly.
Well, and that's what happens with Makoa. You saw Elven Path get the hooks, and now it's Bird finding those hooks as well. Bonker getting the kills, and Lazy just setting it all up. The Grumpy Bomb is available, but hasn't even needed to use it. They're just clumped up in the quarters. And again, we talk about this close space of Jaguar Falls. This lineup from Burrito is just taking prime advantage of it and controlling this real estate like no other, and not accepting renters at any point in time.
Boom! Unfortunate there. Lazy playing a beautiful Bomb King. Was hitting 2 targets with all of those bombs in that last engagement. Jera and Elven Path were both taking 900 damage per shot from the King. 1,800 damage a swing for the Pumpkin. And that was just beautiful capitalization on. Those 2 guys got caught in a corner and they got punished for it.
Overtime still. Lazy's still back here going forward, making sure that no one can contest this. The objective has been captured. Although overtime ticked away for a moment, it was just relatively, I think, minimal in terms of the actual pressure they were applying. Lazy now finding himself a little bit under the gun here. Barrick up on top, seeing if he can stall him. And this is a decent fight. Barrick, if he gets the shield up, can do wonders, but Lazy takes down Sheba before that could happen. And now they just say, get out of my house. My God, you are being terrible to deal with. They get Lazy out in the kill streak, get some extra credits for it in the process.
So tanky when he's hitting all the shots. That's the momentum, that's the swing of it that he's gonna get into. Lazy just gonna be very terrifying on this character. Dragon Punch is charged up, protection for Bugsy, so those rockets are gonna hit 40% harder during that bubble. Here comes the swing through and the wind up. Lazy coming through like a wrecking ball. Finds an early pickup onto Sheba. Bugsy actually gets taken down. Bonker credited with both kills so far in this engagement, continuing the pressure. Bonker with 3 kills, rounding the final corner, breaking the base of District 69, looking for conversion.
And it's coming soon. Moldamba there gets taken down. Bonker with the rampage. And Shifa trying to hold on. The barricade, 4,000 extra health. Doesn't seem to be saving his life or making it any easier. An advance will mean that Ruckus can stay on that 10 streak, get rid of the Hyper Beam Torvald pressure, and find Bugsy in the air. Ruckus still alive, 193 health, but he keeps on firing, and there's the Hexa Fire, trying to find one, can to find any, and there Torvald will get melted. The Shifa on Barrick will get stunned, and that's another kill. A consolation prize for an already steamrolling Burrito.
Mean, clean team fight there from Burrito. You saw the Hyper Beam come out on a Bonker, but Bird had snuck his way around in the back line to just hook Elven Path out of the Hyper Beam outright. He is not CC Moon. Torvald can be CC'd during his ultimate. We saw Bird with the flawless positioning there to capitalize on that fact, cutting off the rest of that Hyper Beam, and it was all curtains from there.
Bonker here, 14 streak. What can you say? He's got Rejuvenate in the pocket, a little bit of extra healing received by his healer Ying, and Tauterize too, meaning that Jera and Perdo, despite Perdo taking the Maelstrom Legendary to be more of an offensive Grok, that healing that they're still counting on in mini clutch situations is not going to be there unless they can deal with this Ruckus and get him off the point. Flux Generator also going to make him super tanky when he's on the objective, but elects for the 30% damage mitigation now. But here's the Dragon Punch. Nothing will get mitigated from that. Lazy goes down, and again, last point fight, that was the big key. Now the fire spits are raining in, now the direct shots are there. Bugsy finds 2 in the engagement off a great Dragon Punch and a fantastic Dread Serpent to follow up from Moldamba, shooting down the clones from Ying and making sure that D69 are back in this game.
They just cut the head off the snake. Lacy was the problem in the previous round. His team fighting was just flawless on the King, hitting so many of his shots that they say he's worth it. And he does have 2,700 health, so it's not like it's a low-value target in any sense of the word. 89% for District 69. The retake here could be a potentiality from Burrito.
I want to see the Maelstrom here from Grok. It's a great time to use it. Got to keep your teammates alive. Bugsy gets 2, though, so it may not be necessary. D69 feel firmly in control of this, and now the silence and the protection from Torvald are that much more difficult to deal with. Sun Commander in the background, but he is going to fall if he goes anywhere near this objective. In fact, they seem to be hunting him down. 2-1 goes the score for D69. They've gotten themselves a point, Nick, but can they push this through and tie things up with Burrito? Otherwise, they'll be facing a 3-1 deficit going into next round.
That's just the reward that Burrito have earned themselves for that 2-0 conversion. Salvo is primed, thrust over the top of the wall here, looking for some damage, not going to find anything. Dragon Punch still ready to go, poking shots, just trying to put his feelers out right now. Bugsy just looking for anyone. Here comes a King Bomb over the top. He's rolling it through the back. He doesn't want to go after
he gets
Bugsy.
Nobody!
Whiffed, though, from the King Bomb.
Barely even gets the healing totem. Lazy with a misplay there on the King Bomb. So difficult to pull off perfectly, and sometimes it's a guessing game, and that time the guess is all in favor. The chips fall as they may, but they may fall for Burrito, for D69 here, in fact. Burrito just getting the worst end of that trade. trade. And Lazy goes down yet again. Talk about cutting the head off the snake. He is not there to provide the damage that has been so valuable. Torvald here, Elven Path in the background. The Hyper Beam is available, Nick. This could be a clutch moment. And they want this push big time.
Sheepa came out on top of the 1v1 with Lazy as well. Dragon Punch comes out. Elven Path takes out Bird. Bugsy finds Bonker in the backline.
Wow.
Absolutely no answer from Burrito. They get steamrolled in that push with over a minute left. District 69 find the conversion and tie things up.
They keep the ult, Nick. They keep the Maelstrom. Admittedly not as impactful, but very impactful to keep your momentum up. Elven Path keeps the Hyper Beam, which is huge for these overtime situations. Jera keeps the Dread Serpent. Didn't even have to use that. Bugsy used the Dragon Punch, but he could charge it up so fast.
13% already on that. The cauterized threes are here and ready to rumble. Perdo and Elven Path with those. The Hyper Beam ultimate has been very impactful on Jaguar Falls Point in particular. No cauterized threes online for Burrito Esports here. Lemonade getting the Chronos 2 online, dumping a lot of credits into that, just trying to get the disengage up as much as possible, leveraging that big game whenever he can here. But the ultimate's in favor of D69 and the momentum is certainly on their side.
But no shield pressure, no cauterized pressure there. That is an interesting decision. If Bonker does go down, Lemonade's not going to be able to provide that typical reason that Cassie is there to deal with these shields and deal with that great AoE, no fall-off damage that she provides here. Jera, though, here's the Hyper Beam from Elven Path. Jera there to follow up. Bird goes down as a result. Perdo gets one more, and this is all in favor of D69. In fact, they've gotten 39% so far, and with this zone coming forward, this could mean that Burrito can't even touch the payload before there's a chance for them to take this objective.
Beautiful long-range fire spit zone coming out, dismounting all members of Burrito. In fact, poking some of them below 50% health. District 69, 87% and climbing here. It's going to be very close.
I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to get back. They know they couldn't. It's because they took such great positioning there. One of the big value points I want to bring up in this cast and in the conversation is that when you fight preferably on the objective and are able to maneuver your way around it and get the 20, 30, maybe 40% as D69 did there, before you get your snowball and your victory and a couple of kills, it means you don't have to have another chance for the enemy team to try and contest you. You can win it right there. And
the zone is so strong. Bugsy actually eating some serious damage from this Bomb King. Will go down to Sun Commander from downtown here. Sheepa actually pushing the issue here on the high ground, finding 2 kills. Perdo pairing alongside him, finding Sun Commander, and Perdo finding another one here. District 69 are rolling right now, already halfway done with this payload push. Minute 40 seconds remaining.
This is dangerous. This is dangerous. 80% for Torvald's Hyper Beam. That's the last thing they want. 5 ultimates on the side of D69 and only a King Bomb. And now about to be Ying's ultimate available for Burrito. They've got to get somebody down here. Bugsy starts things off and takes down Lemonade, who invested all those credits into Chronos. There's the Dread Serpent and Bonker. Might get finished. He will. Sheepa will do the deed. The Hyper Beam could come out, but not while Makoa is CC immune. And so he's going to wait for that to fall off. Here's the Dome Shield. Where's the Hyper Beam? Haven't seen it yet. There it is to put the icing on the cake. And that will mean Elven Path slays Lazy in a D69 victory to move on and win set one, against Burrito here in the Masters qualifiers.
There it is. They take him down. Lemonade rolled a little bit too far away from the payload there at the end. I don't know that he would have been able to save that game, though, regardless. Yeah. D69 were looking strong on that payload push.
It was a tough kind of call. You know, they went with a tanky lineup. They went some interesting item choices. You know, you typically see your Cassie building those records and those cauterizes. Went with the Chronos to really maximize the big game. But then that's out of the fight. If that's one of the ways you think of dealing with the tanks, and she just goes down, their team fight starts to fall apart.
Big game it's high risk, high reward. Still able to get 60k damage done though. Lemonade
very effective
off the board by any means, but again, you look at his eliminations compared to like Lazy's eliminations or even Bonker's eliminations. A lot of this damage from Lazy or from Cassie's is just poke.
Right.
It's just poke that gets healed back up immediately, and it doesn't really have an outstanding impact on the fight. Jera, 42,000 healing on the Maldamba. Was not necessarily, she didn't beat the Ying, but able to set that precedent. I think that Ying can be defeated. It's not the be-all, end-all. Beating Ying and Makoa, no less.
Yeah, and Elven Path as well. You know, I think him, Perdo, Sheepa, as well. You know, I think him, Perdo, Sheepa, Bugsy, Jera. I mean, shout outs to all of the members of D69. But I really am liking the adoption that EU is taken for Torvald. They're really saying Torvald has a huge value here. We're not going to solo tank him. I think that would be silly. He's more of an off tank, but his role is to keep those teammates alive. You see those Grandmaster, those great Torvald players really timing their protection bubbles to where it's game changing, it's fight changing, and those hyper beams to really just be the cherry on top of a disastrous situation, and that's what it was for Burrito there. Just lost too much momentum too early, and then they were susceptible to these win more characters that D69 had.
And of course, 22-4 on the Drogos for Bugsy, top damage in the game. Just continuing to do what he does.
Yeah. Great Dragon Punches from him. Didn't get fooled by the Ink
I
clones
like the
very
one
often.
onto Lazy. He picked Lazy with the Dragon Punch, and you saw that happened, and normally we see those onto the tanks, and it kind of swings the team fight, but the second Lazy went down, Burrito just backed up.
Yeah.
They were like, because he carried a large part of that team fight. He put most of the damage in on the first team fight where they won, but him going down in relatively the same spot where he won that first team fight from in the second round was just it was the full retreat call from Burrito after that.
All right, well, let's take a look at the standings here for Europe as the Masters qualifiers have just started. Set number 1's been taken down here. So D69 played one match. They've got 2 wins in these games, 1 loss. Burrito Esports, they've got 1 win, 2 losses here. Overall, D69 take the better of the set. We'll have to wait how these other teams fare against each other. Of course, this will not be the only time they play against each other. D69 and Burrito will play one more time at some point in these next 3 weeks. And you see here Interlopers versus Wolves Esports, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th seed going to play against each other in match 2. That's going to be an exciting one because Wolves showed a lot of gusto coming in from last weekend, and Interlopers have been kind of this great potential team, not always performing at that highest level, but insane potential.
Interlopers definitely a good one to kick their Masters qualifiers start off to against Wolves. Wolves, like you mentioned, have just been kind of on fire recently. Almost out of nowhere, they roared back and qualified themselves into the top 4 with their, I believe it was 2nd place finish in the final week of the open bracket. So made it all happen there right at the end of the line, got their first wins of the days.
And if you get onto Paladins, you can get your own first win of the day and make sure that you get some extra Radiant chest there. That's right, a Radiant chest will be rewarded for every single first win of the day, going from 3-3 to 3-5. That's March 3rd to March 5th. It should be this weekend, unless I'm like, I don't know, time traveling or something.
That is this weekend.
Also, if you are here, Nick, we've got other stuff happening as well.
And Nara just went live on the PTS last night. Get in there, start playing her, get your first wins of the days there. Just get a feel for the character before she comes out. That way, when she comes out live, you can take her into ranked and start stomping kids with it.
Exactly, start stomping. That's right. We want to see the female frontliner. She is a treat
also,
to play.
The Warder's Field.
Yes.
The noise that makes.
It's great.
It's literally just like a subwoofer. Just. It's awesome.
Says the guy with the biggest subwoofers in the high-res parking lot, so I could see why he's already playing Inara so much.
And Nara's a base head.
We'll be right back. We've got a short break that we'll be taking, and of course it'll be a little shorter than usual because we know you've been waiting previously for us to get going and on track here. We'll come back with the second match of the day, Wolves versus Interlopers. Don't go anywhere.
let you go. Remember all we had. How could we get this bad? Where did
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to the Masters Qualifiers. My name is Rain Day. This is High Res, Pretty Hair, and it's time to get into Game 2. We just had a great series, Game 1, D69 versus Burrito, the European juggernauts that have been facing off against each other since it feels like the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You know, the dinosaur age, man. I mean, I feel like these guys are just old at this point.
It's gone very back and forth as well. You know, District 69, Burrito beating him online. District 69 beats him at land. Burrito starts to beat him online again. Burrito did take the win at land. They didn't have Bugsy, though. That's the one I'm waiting for.
Yeah. The land
Masters,
with everyone.
At the Masters land, hopefully they both make it. Where they have everyone. Burrito's got Theo. District 69 has Bugsy, and they can finally clash and settle the score.
Well, you know, you bring up a good point because we've talked about these the kind of the old guard, and when will it be the passing of the new guard? When will we see new teams come in and break the top 2 spot, which we haven't seen before? And this is where Wolves Esports and Interlopers come into play. In fact, that's the match we'll be watching next. Wolves Esports recently kind of coming into their own here, and Interlopers having some shocking and fantastic moments, actually using 2 players who were both on Burrito and D69 distinctively, and now combining them into a squad that has experience, that has talent, and that has all of these players willing and desiring to be at the top spot.
It is, and Wolves as well as a new squad of young blood here that are, you know, they're eager to get into these games. They're eager to prove themselves. We're going to go ahead and throw you guys on over to the match screen and get match number 2 underway. Timber Mill is the ban for the top team. It's not Burrito. It's either Wolves or it is Wolves, just with the Burrito logo there. Interlopers ban out the Ice Mines, and Stone Keep is the selection for game number 1.
Now, Stone Keep is a great map that we've seen kind of become one of the starter maps a lot of teams like. That, along with Frozen Gods right now, seem to be 2 of the more pertinent starter maps that have come across our awareness and around the teams feeling comfortable. Wolves Esports here, we don't know their priorities. It's a different set. It's a different kind of dynamic. So we don't know who first pick is here. We can expect maybe Ying, but
the meta is so fresh right now. Ying has kind of been the consistent first pick throughout, you know, multiple sets. Each series between, you know, every independent 2 teams kind of has its own, you know, prioritizations.
Right.
Except for Ying. Ying kind of goes first right now, but this second phase in the draft is when you start to see Grok, Torvald, Barrick, even Makoa and Ruckus kind of prioritized as well.
And now we will see the Makoa, the Drogos here, the Torvald, the Cassie, even the Barrick have come in as the second spot. Interlopers also have a player, Spunky, who likes Maeve. But Spunky can also play himself some Drogos. Skill Ganon, I believe, knows himself some Drogos as well. So we'll see if they're able to kind of bounce back and deal with a draft that is comfortable for them, yet counters the enemy team. That's like such the crucial part of this champion draft here.
And that's where the variance in prioritization comes from, largely. You know, what do these guys feel comfortable with, as well as what is the enemy team comfortable with? Can we take anything away from them? You know, those are where the prioritizations really start to stack up and become important. You see the Ruckus, the Shaolin. We didn't see any Shaolin, actually, in the previous set. So that just goes to show you the amount of variance between every team is different.
And you know, we talk about players who have their preferences. Unbelievable. He was a sub for D69 going into this last game when they actually couldn't, the Paladins Invitational, when they couldn't have their captain Bugsy there. And he was a notorious Pip player. And actually now they've decided to go with this double support. Pip and Grok, both kind of on the lower end of things when it comes to actually healing their teammates here.
Sure, and a lot of that, and the Pip kind of banks on the double frontliner here, and Wolves picking up the Torvald. Torvald is the least vulnerable to the Evil Mojo, because if he has any personal shield left over when he gets polymorphed, he's going to retain that in his chicken. So he could potentially be 7,500 HP chicken. And it's just too difficult to bring down, even with Wrecker online. Maldamba is the final selection.
3 healers
to round it out.
That's I don't know if we've ever seen
Pip
3
and Grok.
healers.
All right, come on.
I mean, listen, I get you, but like
it's there. You're right.
Still,
it's there.
Pip, Grok, and Maldamba are that's not a crew that I am used to seeing together. But we'll see if they've had some tricks up their sleeves and are able to make this work. Wolves Esports going with a little bit more of a traditional side, and of course, Interlopers trying to mix things up. Mudastina on Darkstalker right now. Flux Generator for NTBs, extra shielding for Repulsor Field. Simsalo grabbing the Field Generator and Field Study, excuse me. Lifelike for Ying, and Recurve Standard Legendary for Shaolin.
Unbelievable. We'll be running the Catalyst to get his combo damage. Hopefully won't be healing too much this time around, like a good old Pit Fusillade selection for Spunky's Drogo. Half Shell for Creative's Makoa. And Maelstrom, of course, for Skillganon's Grok. That's been fairly standard across all games. And Spirit's chosen the Throughput Healing Legendary. So Kamric are looking to shoulder the burden of keeping his team alive. 2 Cauterize, 2 Wrecker for Wolves, and 3 Cauterize for 3 Cauterize for Wolves, excuse me. 2 Wrecker, 2 Caught for Interlopers.
Respa here on the side of Wolves, trying to just peek and poke. That's the goal with Shaolin. Get the damage off. 2K already for one of the Bow brothers here. Tries to find one more shot, getting great damage off. 4K almost in this fight for Respa. He's just been unmitigated. The Maelstrom Grok shock pulses have been affecting him, but not enough to make it essentially make it negligible. Respa goes into a withdraw, just getting a little bit of stealth, and no one stepped onto the point yet. And I think that is the danger of this, Nick. They've got a lot of point pressure when they do step on there, but so far Modestina able to clean up Spunky, give Wolves the advantage.
Over a minute into the game before First Blood falls, Modestina in the back line now, trying to clean up and capitalize on some of these low HP targets. There's the protection to give him the damage amp, but it will fall off before he's able to get in the back line and clean this one up. Doesn't even need it. Hits 3 of 4, taking Skillganon down with.
And in the back line, Spunky now with Drogos. Doesn't see a great way to get in. The hook misses, and that would have been a good way to start things off. The poke, getting one of the flankers down. Seems like that's an open avenue now, but the door's still closed. They're going to have to barge their way in. Not with Respa and Modestina hitting that hard. They're going to get some kills. Great instinctive reversal. Hits the healing totem. Guaranteed going to stay there. So that means he'll get that reversal back. Not that he even needs it running the Darkstalker Legendary. And there it is. It is an objective captured for Wolves right now. Making a statement, Nick, against Interlopers.
Headshots on the 5 streak right now for Modestina. Doesn't even need the supplementary damage from the headshot legendary, and some pretty crazy flicks onto the Drogos player from Interlopers, just being a force right now. And Stonekeep is it's interesting. There's a lot of ways for Androxus to use this mobility to get from Cathedral to Cathedral and just impact multiple spots in the fight, because we saw Interlopers start to spread out a little bit and force Wolves to find an answer.
Modestina actually finds himself here with a 5 streak and 2000k HP, not affected yet. A hook could definitely change things though. Modestina gets taken down. Kamric, he is the death dealer there in that situation now. Skillganon on the Grok, finding himself some more damage with this Maelstrom Legendary. Means the shock pulses can hit so hard and so frequently, especially with his in-hand, reducing the cooldown of shock pulse for every tick of damage that he deals with it. One of the more powerful legendaries in the game that has changed the way Grok is seen in this meta. Dragon Punch available, minute and 20 seconds left. Is he gonna put it out right now, Nick? He's definitely got time to recharge it if he does.
That healing totem just narrowly coming down. Grok trying to keep himself healed up. Skillganon in a rough spot. There's a nice salvo, putting a lot of damage into the shield of the Torvald. Respa does find the pick on the Unbelievable though. Spunky falling lower and lower. Needs to be careful of this as well. Nice fire spit around the corners, putting everyone so low. Somebody's got to drive these kills home.
And no one is able to finish it off yet. Modestina and squad still pushing. Cursed Arm is here. He can solo ult the target. In fact, the Slither's already used Maelstrom. Used just to keep both healers alive, but Grok is so vulnerable in Maelstrom, and that means he's going to go down. Modestina, great dashes, double kill by Androxus. Tries to find himself. Triple kill for Androxus. Modestina, can you make it 4? Hits 1, hits 2, looks to hit 3, but NTB steals the show. But 3 kills for Modestina in a row means that Wolves are still on the prowl.
Beautiful play here from the Androxus. Does get hooked out, but the protection is there. The anti-burst mechanic that Torvald brings makes him so strong against Makoa, a character that's been traditionally in the meta. Ultimates flying every which way. Polymorph, Ancient Rage, and Hyper Beam have all come out, and it looks like Wolves are finding themselves on top of the trade thus far.
Zemsilo gets 3 in the engagement. Creatives is here, trying to make sure that the hook can do damage, but he can't even survive. And unfortunately, just as overtime was about to tick away, Modestina finds his 8th kill there in this push, and Wolves find a 2-0 lead on Stonekeep.
This guy has been a monster so far on this character. 8 streak, has the Cauterize 2 already online, saving up for the Cauterize 3. Only 260 or 70 or 36 credits off the mark for that one, so very, very close to that already at the 5-minute mark. Has his ultimate available. Great trigger discipline. I probably would have popped it just to get my quadra kill confirmed.
Absolutely.
Just to look really good and fancy. But he does save it. Trigger discipline, name of the game here for these top-tier players. 34% for Simsalo's Hyper Beam, and not a lot of ultimates for Interlopers, so they give up the conversion and spend more ultimates than Wolves. So Wolves are in a phenomenal spot right now to close this game.
But still pressure here. They know that things went basically all their way on this upper ledge fight, and Modestina found so much health, but now he goes directly for Spunky, who actually avoids some crucial shots there. Now Spunky gets a shot in return. Oh, wow, huge stuff there. In fact, he tried to thrust up, but coming over just in time was Simsalo with the silence to silence the thrust and bring him down to the ground where he belongs, and definitely put him in the dirt. Modestina on a 9 streak still, just controlling this right corridor. Gonna poke Spunky out again, and just the struggle's not able to affect his fight.
That's a big part of it too. A lot of that damage
Look at
looking to
that.
shut down the Torvald is gonna come off the back of Spunky, but he can't get into the fight. Beautiful catch and release there, Cursed Arm on the high ground just to smooth things out. We'll get the flow. A lot of damage in their creatives. Will he have the throughput? He does find the DPS to take down the tank. Modestina on fire right now.
He's gonna get another 2 right here. This is just all Modestina, man. Look at this. He's just going up, wants to get another step. So he's just trying to jump up and shoot it. He actually falls down now. Maybe bites off a little more than he can chew, but Spunky and the side of Interlopers are just so out of sorts that there's nothing they can do. Great positioning as well by him, knowing that he was safe from the hook there because of the angle, and then just pressures out the Makoa yet again. 3-0 for Wolves. Modestina largely one of the big reasons, but cannot forget the small moments that make such a big difference for this. The Torvald silence onto Spunky, and just starting things off well for their team.
Oh, as well as keeping this man alive. The polymorph comes through, a couple of ultimates. The CC immunity off the back of the Hexfire won't be enough. Unbelievable, still finding the kill onto NTBs, but the damage will be enough to force Wolves back for the time being. Still trying to take control of these line of sight breaks into Planet. Goes Respa, but doesn't find anything for it. Just a lot of sustain, a lot of things to fall back on for Interlopers.
The cauterizes on the side of Wolves are just so effective here against Interlopers squad, with the 3 healers as well, that it makes itemization easy. It makes it almost just simple, and when it's that simple, it's that effective, because you know that whoever you shoot, you're doing huge disability to their control and their presence in the team. And that's where I feel this draft may have gone wrong for them. Just so simply countered by Cauterize. It allows Modestina here to finish off 2 great mid-air Cursed Arm shots. The difficulty in that is not to be forgotten. Wolves Esports with the victory, and oh my goodness gracious, they find themselves taking a incredibly strong lead here on Stone Keep, and one that is for the ages in terms of, I think, a Modestina performance. He's going to put that on his highlight reel.
That is, yeah.
And just make that a video and just hopefully get that going, man.
That's going to be hard to beat there, and a beautiful job. We got to shout out Respa as well. Pops the Heat Haze. Actually found 2 pickups to kind of kick that last team fight off. For the Wolves, who are looking very hungry for a win today.
Absolutely. And so let's go to the scoreboard and just break it down. It's pretty obvious. 4-0 domination by Wolves over Interlopers. Modestina 22-1. Sleepy 9-0 as well. So not a lot of
no
deaths.
Pressure on him, man. There was no way for anyone to get to Sleepy. Modestina was shutting people down as they were coming back from spawn. He was hunting Spunky in the back line, and that's the difference that, frankly, we didn't see out of the Androxus. In the Burrito D69 set, there was just not that type of pressure on the backline, as you see Spunky sitting at 4-7, 54,000 damage, still able to top damage his team, but all those deaths sent back to spawn that many times makes it very difficult to have the type of impact you want to have.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like they won that initial fight. We often followed along with Modestina, but we weren't able to see what happened in the upper ledges, and I think that that's where things went wrong for them. I rarely saw Unbelievable impacting this fight whatsoever. I rarely saw, actually skill Ganon, I mean, except for the brief moments he was shock pulsing in the corner in Modestina's perspective, having an effect 2-7 in terms of deaths and eliminations. It didn't work, this triple healer comp.
There's no great answer for Androxus on this team. There's no Victor, there's no hit scan, there's no even Cassie, those quicker projectiles to take out this airborne target. You see Spunky was the one that was kind of left alone to deal with them. There was the hook there, but they were running solo front line with 3 supports. So it made it a weird thing where creatives had to be on the point. He had to be holding it down there. He couldn't be helping his backliners, peeling for them with the dredge anchor. That would have been enough, but there was just no one else to step up in front line for the team because they had the 3 supports, and none of them are that great at dealing with Androxus. Grok, kind of, sort of, if your tracking's on point. But at the end of the day, Christina, done.
Yep. So let's head over to the maps. Game 2 will be Jaguar Falls here. And again, these are best of 3 sets. So most it could go to Game 3. This means it's all on the line here for Interlopers. And they've got their choice of map. Jaguar Falls will be the one. But they've got to have a huge performance here. Definitely something that was just, I mean, I think that win was a little bit out of left field for us, considering Interlopers and Wolves largely considered to be in the same caliber of team. It just seemed that the steamrolling could not be stopped there, especially with that weird lineup. I expect Interlopers to draft something a little bit more standard here.
Yeah, Wolves have a lot of momentum on their side, and you're right, kind of a weird draft coming out from the Interlopers, so hopefully they can get it figured out. They do take the Ying. This takes a lot of pressure off of them. In terms of a healer, they probably won't take triple support again this time around.
Yeah, and that's not to say that I don't like and encourage different drafts. Like, I actually am, you know, maybe that could have worked in a different way. I just think you can't do the same things. You know, trying to out-bully people on that top ledge is the same path a lot of people take when they go Stone Keep. If you have that weird of a draft, you're probably going to have to do something different. Wolves Esports now, though, kind of under pressure, having to deal with the Ying. And Interlopers, I don't think, are going to need another healer here, but they have the opportunity to go with the Grok.
They take the early Drogos, the Makoa as well. Grok's still on the table, Torvald, Ruckus notably. That's a strong frontliners. Barrack, though, going to be the selection for the Interlopers. And this is on Jaguar, so it is tightly packed in. The Shaolin picked up as well. So Respa will probably be on the Drogos, so they still can go to Modestinas and Droxus. But, you know, this early on in the draft, none of those targets in the backline are, like, that super great for it. They have the Drogos, which is, like, the main counter. Or the Androxus is kind of the main counter to Drogos, but Wolves already have that in their draft. So it doesn't look as if they're willing to go for that.
Pip selected again here, but then this time on the side of Wolves Esports. And that is important. The Grok does
Torvald?
Get Hubbard over here. Torvald is what I would think, but Interlopers maybe make a little bit of a decision and say, I'm just not dealing with Modestinas and Droxus, which is a very respectable decision. I understand that he just annihilated the team last round.
I don't know that they would have taken it, though. I really don't think they would have taken it with just the Pip to lean on for healing. I really think Wolves are going the way of Maldamba. But they do get it out of his hands regardless. It's a gamble. Another solo frontliner game for the Interlopers, but they do have some more damage to follow it up this time. The Grok, I like pairing the Grok honestly with the Barrack because Grok can almost play as like a pseudo frontliner, just bringing kind of the jack of all trades, a little bit of healing, a little bit of damage, a little bit of tankiness to the front line. Unbelievable, though, going to be playing the Barrack. Get that tab screen up, take a look at some of these legendaries as they start to come through. I imagine we'll see some pretty fairly standard stuff. Unbelievable. Probably going to go for the Fortify legendary here. That gives him 4,000 additional HP onto his barricade because he is the solo frontliner right now for Interlopers. He has to be the one to hold down the front line and just be that solo tank. And Barrack, he can do it. We've seen him get away with it from time to time. Lifelike will be the selection for Kamikaze Ying. That is going to be your standard pick up there, doubling her throughput. The clones now heal 2 instead of 1 target. Shaolin picks up the recurve, just a little bit more attack speed for creative lifelike. Or Ying, unbelievable. Takes the Tinkerin, so enhancing his blunderbuss, more consistent damage. Maelstrom, of course, for Skillganon's Grok, and Dark Stalker, more mobility for Spunky's Androxus.
And for Modestina now, switching off the Andro to the Ruckus, going to take Flux Generator, and the short map that Repulsor Field will come in handy. Simsalo, the Catalyst, half shell for NTBs yet again. Fusillade, direct damage for Respa, who's now finds himself on the Drogos, and Sleepy. It's going to be taking up Spirits Chosen. Not surprising there. Goes with the Chronos, and Bulldozer taken by NTBs. Definitely wants to try to just cut off Barrack's support right at the knees there.
Clones and turrets. He's got a lot of targets, a lot of value to be gained off the back of that nice hook on Unbelievable. He's just doing a good job dancing him back and forth in between his tanky barricade. Will we need to retreat for the time now? Drops the turret, get that healing station going, but first blood. Go to Interlopers.
The reason that was so perfect is in a casual game he would have fallen there, but because of the pressure from the other 4 members of Interlopers, and they committed 3 to try to kill Unbelievable, he had wasted enough time, he had healed enough, he had done enough damage to where they knew if they went to pursue that, they would have lost the preceding fight. So they leave him be, and again, that's a bad thing for Barrack because he gets to stay set up, he gets to stay alive. Unbelievable has not died, and now is really under very limited pressure. Creatives, Spunky, able to just do damage in the the back line and keep them all pressured up. They're grouped up here, and it's just easy targets to farm. However, Spunky finding a little bit of pressure on him here. He cannot find any damage if a Makoa hook lands on him, but unfortunately for him, Makoa will leave him alone for now.
Keeps himself in combat, though. Will not heal up for some time. Still kind of eking their way away with this one. Interlopers 69% on the point, 45 and climbing, though, for Wolves. They need to find an angle back into this one soon, or it's going to get away from him.
Spunky in the back line, always good. Just keeping their heads turned. Doesn't mean they're actually going to, you know, get the damage off, but just knowing that he's got to look left, he's got to look center, he's got to look right means there's a lot of pressure, and the damage could come a little too quick. He decides to go for one target. In fact, he decides to move around, and it's already back to Interloper's favor. There's a Dread Serpent coming out. Maldamba is here. Unbelievable, running away. Repulsor field, but it won't save the life of Modestina. Creatives with the withdraw, trying to finish off the turtle, but he's staying alive. Bunny hopping to his best of his ability. And Creatives will finish off with the planet. Great kill by Respa, but Skillganon will follow up, and this should clearly be Interloper's point.
In overtime, though, they're able to take it back. Interlopers come away with the first payload. Great job of Spunky keeping the pressure up on Drogos right now, just not letting him run away with it. Great hook to pull him in and try and take him out, but the mobility is just too much from the Godslayer. He's able to escape with his life for the time being. 2 minutes remain on this payload push as Interlopers around the first corner.
Reversaling the damage of Ruckuses, constantly firing machine guns back onto him. Going to deal a little bit, force the fight elsewhere. Now he's able to solo pick off this Maldamba, just left helpless to the Androxus, who now is looking for more prey. His team just escorting the payload safely. Spunky having a great game for himself. And Androxus seems to have been the difference maker for both teams here, despite us having this knowledge that flankers have kind of gone out of the love of a lot of these pros. He's making a big impact.
Yeah, these are good maps for him, though, albeit a lot of line of sight breaks, especially on Jaguar. Was able to pick off the healer, and then without their sustain, Wolves just fell apart, got cleaned up easily by the rest of Interlopers. Killer Arrow primed and ready to go. Cursed Arm planted, shreds through the shell shield. A lot of damage mitigation coming out. Ruckus stays alive, and Ancient Rage keeping Makoa healthy.
Good reversal by Spunky, 1,000 health. Now Ying healing him up as well. Look at Lifelike doing what it does, keeping so many members of Interlopers healthy here. Turned into a chicken though. Spunky, nice jump up. He's gonna kite him enough to stay alive. And the Maelstrom comes out as well from Grok to keep everyone nice and healthy. It's up to Spunky to get a kill here. Sleepy's his target. One dash gets pulled. He's got another dash available to get out of dodge. There's Maldamba's ult. He's gonna spread things out. And so far, Interlopers can't break through Wolves' defense.
A lot of low targets here to be capitalized. Creatives finds one, Spunky finds one. The half shell comes out, stabilizing this team fight. It's just not enough. Interlopers able to punch the conversion through. Unbelievable with a nice 2-kill right at the end there to drive the payload home. A lot of credits to his name as well. Interlopers come back to base with very fat wallets and very high streaks. Cauterized 2s, Blast Shields 2s online for Unbelievable, as well as a Master Riding. So having his pick of the litter, he's got almost all 4 item categories fleshed out. Creatives with the Wrecker 2 and the Blast Shields 2 as well. So enough pressure coming from the Drogos and from the BIP to where a couple of these guys want to shift their defensive focus onto those. Whereas you see Spunky taking the Haven, as a lot of times he's in the back line, getting pressured out by NTBs off the back of the hook, who's trying to provide as much peel as he can, but it's just not enough.
Simsolo wasn't able to find the damage off of the Evil Mojo. Turning chickens, but as vulnerable as they were, no kills were found off of it, and that was crucial. That was part of their defensive plan, but already a great hook means Spunky's under pressure. Good reversal, but he will fall. The damage is just too great and too big of an area. Here's Respa to try and keep things rolling his team's way. Wolves looking to get back into this, but he misses the Dragon Punch and is forced to shoot a turret. But hey, that's all good when your team has cleaned things up for you. 58%, excuse me, on the objective so far for Wolves, and Interlopers are really running under the clock.
He will retain the 30% on his charge though, but 89%, like you mentioned, getting closer and closer here. Interlopers need to find a win and fast. They find 2 kills, find 3 kills for 1, and they are able to take it back, cleaning up Modestina in the corner. Maldamba and Pip, the only ones able to escape with their lives.
Now this is a full wipe. That means they'll have to wait for all 5 team members most likely. But with 51% and counting on the objective for Interlopers, the time is running out. They're going to have to make a move. One of the tanks will have to get in there and aggress. If they can poke him out enough, this could be very bad for the sustain and pacing of this fight, which needs to go their way. Otherwise, they fall 3-0 down. Already forcing the Ghost Walk on Skillganon is very good, though. Pip decides to be aggressive. There's the Evil Mojo. He wants to get a kill. No one's gotten killed yet. Oh, there is one. Skillganon does fall. Spunky falls as well, but Creatives picks one up in an 18 streak, 19 streak for Shaolin. Make it 20. He's going to help Interlopers finish things off, and with a 3-0 lead, look at a victory straight in the face here.
Great job, though, from Unbelievable to try, and he's actually just going to feed that streak. Both these players are.
So
and the reason
Unbelievable.
They are doing this is in Paladins, you get bonus ultimate charge for shutting down streaks based on the size of the streak. So the 20 streak and the 15 streak are going to provide a ton of ultimate charge, and they just say, all right, rather than give them that free ult charge, we're just going to hop off the map right now before we even get this payload push going. Just get that full reset. Everybody come back as 5, and we'll get it rolling.
And that's not guaranteed to be the best decision, right? Sometimes, you know, momentum is the most important thing, and if you lose it, trying to build it up again is the hardest part. You know, but that is a decision that they made here, trying to be economical, trying to just cut their potential losses. They're anticipating that with the 3-0 lead already, they're going to be able to get this payload push moving, but not with the way they're hitting these hooks, man. Spunky goes down. NTB starting to find his rhythm here on Makoa, getting a couple good hooks for Wolves.
It's always so hard to get your momentum back up, especially into Dragon Punches. 2 for 1 right now on this push, and the team fight's still struggling to go either team's way. Wolves going to be forced to back up for the time being, surrendering a little bit of this payload distance, but it's not really a loss until they break the base, until they have defensive. Right now, the payload's out in the open. They don't have any defensive positions that they can really take here, so Interlopers trying their best to break this base while they have the window.
Doing a good job not really shooting the half shell as well. With part of the mechanic with Makoa's half shell is if you're able to have it shot down and destroyed by enemies, it actually gets its cooldown back up faster. So that's a big one. It should be back up very soon. As a result of that, means NTBs have a couple more resources to keep his teammates alive. Mudastina gets a kill on the Kamiker, but Creatives finds 2 and continues his winning ways here, helping his team to move forward with success. Respa needs a big fire spit. He's gonna get, whoa, it's gonna hit the shield. I mean, a lot of damage goes wasted there. He's got the Dragon Punch, though, and he's about to use it.
Coming around the corner here, looking for something, looking for anything. 300 health there.
No!
He's going to whip again. 31% of his charge retained here. Doesn't pay for it with his life, so that's, you know, it's good. It's not the best case scenario here. Looking for some mid-range rockets. Unbelievable is going to take him down. That's a CC immune target. NTB's just wasted his hook on a CC immune target. Sends himself straight into Ancient Rage here, trying to find a stabilization. Is Wolves.
That was a huge ult from Simsolo. They pick up 3 kills there. This will be the stabilization, and that is huge for them to be able to just find this clutch Evil Mojo, right? And that is why Pip gets picked up. That is why he could be so valuable and could turn a game in one moment. It's not often we see it happen so consistently, but Simsolo getting into his rhythm yet again.
He's had some pretty awesome plays on this Pip, and well, I got cut off a little bit by the fact that, you know, Interlopers were just jumping off to end their streaks, but he did a fantastic job in that fight. They did end up losing, but he did everything right on this Pip. He pressured out Skillganon, hit the 180 ultimate onto the point, and immediately target switched back onto Skillganon to give his team just the best opportunity possible. Did everything right with this character. Does have the morale boost, trying to get as many of those off as well. He's already back to 24%, and the missed Dragon Punch is clawing its way back as well, sitting at 41%. He's got to start connecting on some of these for sure, though.
Pip, though, a net buff here in terms of old Pip, and he's been very successful. Respa and the boys of Wolves get another kill, and so momentum, although the points are in the favor of Interlopers, momentum seems to have shifted now towards Wolves, who are having a lot of success here on these point fights. Already getting a little bit in favor of them, 11% right now. Not stepping on the point just now. Here it goes, 23 as it continues to move. A very good impale from Shaolin, but he's got 2 healers next to him. Should be able to heal that up quickly.
Cauterized Pressure gonna do what it can to try and stem that flow of sustain. 50% already for Wolves on the point. Nice hook from NTB. Pulls Unbelievable in, and Respa able to drive that one home. Spunky looking for a pincer maneuver here. A lot of fire spit action going on, but 2 close quarters here. Drogo's able to get a lot of good damage out, but unable to confirm any of those kills.
So there's a lot of healing here, Nick. Healing potion up in about 1 second. and he's going to use it. There's a Dread Serpent, but the CC Immune Ruckus with the Hexafire is going to do so much damage here. 99% and counting for Wolves. Will it be this overtime that can sustain them for one more round? Unbelievable will go down, and looks like it is. Wolves coming forward again with momentum, and now looking to tie things up with a push.
A lot of ultimates spent there to try and get that one, but they do come away with it. Interlopers spending the Accursed Arm and the Dome Shield. Has the Heat Haze available to him. Shaolin looking to become invisible during that ultimate. Also, you know, little known fact, does draw his bow faster.
Yeah.
So spooling out on that legendary attack speed as well. Going to be attacking extremely quick, putting out a lot of damage, a lot of swing potential. It's a good thing that Interlopers weren't able to get that Shaolin back on the point, because that ultimate has like that MLG hype outplay, 1v5 potential, especially in those clutch situations.
Not going for the Lifesteal Ultimate Legendary, which is a fun one to mention. 100% lifesteal when you are in that Legendary and in your Ultimate Heat Haze. Very, very case specific, but very, very hype if you're able to pull it off. Haven't seen it in the pro scene yet. Not sure if we will. Maybe one day here. NTBs, though, looking to find the answer this day. Half shield, just helping him to stay alive and giving him 2 shields, essentially. One in front, one in back, and kind of allowing him to juggle himself between and still do damage as a Makoa, which is so important. But loses the burst on that damage, Nick, which can be crucial in letting some of these targets escape.
Absolutely. Driving kills home is the #1, I think, difficulty for a lot of teams. You can poke somebody low, but it's all about finding the way to punch it home. And Androxus Spunky has been doing a great job thus far. Wow, the burst from downtown onto Creatives. Pokes him out, brings him from 100 to 0 as he's withdrawing. He falls dead in his tracks. Spunky missing a couple of nether steps into that hole and gives the window that they need to try and find it. This is a lot of momentum. This is the 2 picks that they need to maybe find this conversion. Wolves have every ultimate on the board as well.
They don't need to use it, though, because they've already got the space cleared out, and with them poked to half health, this is when Drogo's in that fire spit means so much, and that means it could almost be a kill. In fact, they're going to give it up. They're going to give a few more credits up as well, as 2 kills come through in the end and tie it up 3-3. Wolves Esports slamming back here. Interlopers looking at the edge of losing this set.
That looked like a miscommunication almost, because, you know, they do end up near the payload. They look like they tried to get on there, but they end up just feeding even more credits back to Wolves, allowing them to come back. A couple of luxury rejuvenates coming through from Modestina and from NTBs, trying to stave off this cauterized pressure. 2 cauterized 3s, 2 cauterized 2s for the Interlopers. It's a very tall task to shut down, and Simsilo, being the pit player that he is going to be healing his team when the situation calls for it. So the cauterized pressure here definitely well warranted from Interlopers.
3-3. It all comes down to this. 100% for the ultimate charges on 9 out of 10 players in this round. And again, a great hook by NTBs. Looks like it could start things off, but Androxus will never step away. Not yet on the point is Modestina, trying to find the long-range damage. He's going to find several targets, but the repulsive field will keep him and his teammates healthy for now. Half shell is where they're fighting, and a Dread Serpent comes out. Not going to find a lot of damage, but that sure will. There are chickens, and they're getting roasted here. So much damage coming out thanks to Simsilo and squad, and Modestina still on the point. 33% and counting for Wolves.
Evil Mojo finding its mark there. Simsilo giving his team the situation that they need, the scenario that they want to succeed in. 60% already in the take back here. Needs to be careful. Grok going down here would be huge. NTB is going to elect to give it the chase. Still has the Ancient Rage available to him. There's the hook. Pulls unbelievable right off of his horse and into a rough spot. The Tempest has to be popped just to keep him alive.
And there it is. Ancient Rage still available. No Hexafire, but they may not need it. Simsilo, he's used the chicken. He used the Evil Mojo, but they already have the advantage here. Missed Fire Spit by Respa. Will it be the end, or will it still be enough for his team to come back and finish things off? Unbelievable. Staying alive is a great answer for Interlopers, but a bad deal for Wolves, so they finish him off quickly. No front line now, and it is all Wolves here. Interlopers have to dive into this point if they want a chance. Kamiger goes down, and in fact, 99% on the objective leaves Spunky stunned and not able to contest whatsoever. It will be Wolves here, it looks like. Unbelievable, just victim to a full DPS ruckus, and Wolves take Interlopers as their victims here with the win 2-0 in their first set of the Masters qualifiers.
Beautiful stuff there. They're able to claw their way back. That was a very dominant first round from the Interlopers, but able to keep the momentum, keep the spirits high.
Yeah.
Coming back, coming out on top.
Simslow, great plays with the pip. Sometimes you see that not work out.
He's so good at
Yeah,
pip.
and he's really been the guy. I think we've seen so many good bomb kings. We've seen from Avuli to Rovanik to Tooney jumping in and having these amazing bomb king performances saying, "You're masterclass." Simslow has really started to show himself here, not just picking pip and hitting one good Evil Mojo, but hitting them consistently and on the big stage when it matters most. 28-8 goes to show 94,000 damage, topping the
He beats
almost
Drogos.
the entire game except
And
Spunky's
Brock.
Androxus and Creative Shaolin. But just an incredible performance by him, and 29,000 healing. I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean, not only are his Evil Mojos on point, and that's a nice chunk of healing as well.
That is.
Almost double what Grok was able to bring as kind of that other off healer on his opponent's team. But this guy's his directs are filthy on this character, and that's where this 94,000 damage is coming from. He's running the legendary to get the combo damage off the back of his explosive flask, and he is so good at landing these direct shots with the character. He's got the trajectory nailed down to a T. 28-8. Just a superb performance. Modestina, great performance on his Ruckus as well. 37-6. So participating in almost every kill that his team was able to acquire there. The only solo kills actually came through for Modestina and for Simslow.
All right, well, let's take a look kind of at, that game moving forward was a good sign to see where Wolves and Interlopers are against each other, right? You look at Wolves and kind of Interlopers being at these 3 and 4 seeds, but that third, that's going to matter. That fourth, that's going to matter, especially when you talk about the gauntlet and how many games you're going to have to win, and what's really going to have to happen here in these next matches as well. Who's going to be the one to step up against the big dogs? Wolves looking really good, and that'll be match 4 where they play Burrito to see really how good they are, especially since Burrito falling to D69 earlier. But coming up next, and actually coming up right now, it's going to be D69 versus Interlopers. We will be actually taking a look at the standings next and not going into a break, Nick. This is fortunate Paladins esports action here.
We're rolling. We had our technical difficulties earlier, but we're paying you back now. We're going to keep on rolling. No more breaks.
No more bathroom breaks for Rain Day or Pretty Hair. We don't need it. In fact, we're not even human, Nick. We're something greater.
I never need to pee.
That's
So
right.
we see here, District 69, they needed 2-0 Interlopers here because Wolves have already set the precedent that they have what it takes to 2-0 the Interlopers.
Yep.
District 69 have the 2-1 right now. The
That's
2
right.
wins, 1 loss to Burrito.
That's right.
Against albeit not the full starting 5 for Burrito, so still kind of in their weakened state.
Here are the maps, too. It looks like Serpent Beach is going to be the first selection where the game will be played. Timber Mill banned out. Ice Mines banned out. D69 coming off a great win. And Interlopers coming off a very bad loss here. I would expect this to be heavily in D69's favor, at least for today. Interlopers are going to have to bounce back big here against some of the best teams, one of the best teams that Europe has seen in the Paladin scene.
They do have the sub from District 69's HRX squad, and unbelievable there, who's been playing more Barrack these days than Ruckus for sure, and he's been playing Pip a little bit more as well, who's kind of come back into favor. We saw Simslow have a phenomenal game on him as well, but now it's a full swing here in the draft. The draft, it's in a healthy spot right now. I like it. Aside from Ying kind of being that first pick, everything else seems like it's pretty up in the air. District 69 have what they like to prioritize. Interlopers have what they like to prioritize. And it's a weird balance of trying to take something away, but also get what you're comfortable and what you prioritize.
I'm sorry. I mean, my first impression of Interlopers that really wowed me, shocked me, was when they came out with the Mave, when Mave was released that weekend, and they just played Mave at such a good level. And Spunky really proved that he was one of the best Maves, and we didn't see another Mave really, I think, perform at that level that Spunky did. We saw a lot of good Maves. Lazy, Eliminate, very good, but we just didn't see that. And now they've gone completely from it. I don't know, Nick, do you think this could be the time with things not really working for them to try and bring out an old trick?
Well, there is a lot of Mave nerfs upcoming, so maybe they've stopped practicing it as a result. They've stopped running it.
That's true.
It's tough to say. They do lock in the Drogos, which is a good takeaway. That Interlopers, they're confident in running it. Burrito, they do run it, but I don't think as confidently as District 69 obviously runs it, where that's not really the case for Interlopers. This is one of their staple picks. This is a great takeaway from District 69. It's going to force some type of flank pressure, whether it be Buck, which was just locked in, might still be in Droxus. They still need their Maldamba pickup, but they're going to go with the Torvald. I like this draft.
You know, we saw this, Nick. Interlopers and D69 picked the exact same, I think, top 5 every single time. We never saw Buck come out. And I think this is just showing that D69 feel confident enough to run Buck. They feel like they want to style a little bit here. They want to win more. They don't feel like they're at an even playing field with this team.
Perdo's one of the best Bucks there is.
And if they weren't confident enough in the exact same lineup to pick it against Burrito, they feel that they've got something over the edge of interlopers here. Ruckus going to get selected. Cass, this is almost the exact same lineup that we actually saw Burrito be playing.
Yeah, you sub the Drogos for the
exactly.
Bomb King.
Sub the Drogos for the Bomb King. Torvald now and Maldamba selected again. D69 trying to bring in some Buck Wild action. Oof.
And it combos and synergizes so well with the Torvald Field Study Legendary in particular. 40% extra damage during the shield's duration. Only 2 seconds, only 2,000 health, but Perdo doesn't need much of a window to come out on top of a 1v1 with Buck.
And even Maldamba being able to heal him up, give him that Mending Spirit's movement speed if he's running that. Let's take a look at the legendaries here. Unbelievable. Run and Flux Generator for Ruckus. Fortify for Barrack as of now for Spunky. Worm Jets for Skillganon. Lifelike for Ying. And Exaction, standard Cassie dodge roll here for creatives.
Field Study for Elven Paths, Torvald Maelstrom for Sheepa's Grok. Pluck for Bugsy's Makoa. Ripe and Gord, so they're going for the slow and the control in the team fight is Jera and Bounce House finally for Perdo.
And actually a change here. I see Spunky actually is now running Tinkerin for Barrack on the left-hand side. You could see he switched over that at the very last second, enhancing the blunderbuss, Nick, making it a little stronger, making it a little bit less spread so he can guarantee some of those long-range damage shots on some of these targets he thinks may just be jumping around on him, and he might be right, especially with Elven Path getting the kill onto Skillganon right away. Sheepa just commanding the pace of this fight with the consistent Maelstrom there and Grok shock pulses. He's grokking out right now, taking down the turrets, and they're moving forward with a reason to fire. They have got everyone on the back heels for interlopers, and D69, despite not being an advantage yet on the point, are totally dominating this fight.
Already at 75% on his ultimate, so Tempest has been really, really charged up off the back of that beautiful fight there. There's a nice one to drive home the kill onto Skillganon. District 69 coming out swinging, only allowing 39% on the point before they move in and show their dominance.
I got to tell you, Bounce House Buck, one of the more fun legendaries in the game, and the ability for him to just maneuver so efficiently here. That's getting touched a little bit next patch as well. Gonna have some extended cooldown on these leaps, but still gonna be very effective. Really just being able to jump in and jump out is the strength. Right now he's just jumping everywhere he wants. Unlimited cooldowns here essentially for the man with the 2 charges and trying to get the headshots. Jumping up, that's gonna help him do that, just to narrowly find more of those pellets onto the head, and he gets Spunky down as well. Perdo just on a 7 streak.
He's very good at maneuvering his heroic leaps through the air, through the maps as well, and that's one thing that kind of separates him from the rest of the Buck players. That cauterize actually coming to effect there, helping him drive that kill home. There's the 40% damage. The Buck Wild as well, 900 damage, 500 damage, 800 damage. Perdo comes through like a Mack truck in that team fight to drive yet another kill home as District 69 round the final corner looking for the conversion.
Man, he's just bullying all of the members of Interlopers here. You cannot stop Perdo on this Buck, and Serpent Beach, such a great map for him. There's so many corners to get around, and look at that 350 on everybody who he's landing on. 350 again, trying to find the headshot down onto Interlopers one more time. The Dragon looking to pursue Buck, but do you know if you're gonna get out of this? Maybe you're the one getting hunted, Drogos. Might wanna watch out, Perdo sees ya. Is he gonna finish you off? Oh, not yet, Perdo. Jumping back to safety and continuing the Bounce House onslaught.
Looking for the Ying now, gets protected by Elven Path, who's got a lot of targets low for him as he rounds the corner. Nice headshot there. Spunky goes down, able to get up onto the high ground. One more shot's gonna do it. Perdo.
My God.
Finds a double kill on an absolute tear right now.
What have we done?
11 streak. For Buck, there's another one as he lands through. There's another one. Double kill for Perdo.
My God, Perdo just showing us all what it really means to put together a highlight reel. You thought Munestina went off. Perdo just cannot be stopped here. Taking down airborne targets, taking down ground targets, and godlike for the shotgun sniper. Doesn't need the ult, but he could use it here. He just wants to keep this rolling. And if he does die, he will feed a lot of credits to the side of Interlopers, so they got to be careful here. Maelstrom comes out from Grot. Perdo again looking for more headshots. Annihilation, 15 in a row. The hook comes through, and D69 are just slamming on Interlopers. Oh boy. That was
nasty.
nasty.
And then he misses a shot in slow-mo.
Lame.
Forehead.
Loser.
Forehead in the chat, please.
Woohoo, her.
Perdo does have the Cauterize 3 online after the first round. Damaged out, though. Still going to go over to Sheepa, who is just the king of the shock pulse right now. Consistently landing those, getting his ultimate charged up very, very quickly. Getting a lot of credits online for himself as well. Almost hitting that Cauterize 3 mark. If we could take a look at the net worth chart, I'd be very interested to see where Perdo sits on that one key binding there. Pulls that up. There it is, 1859. So is leading, despite not leading player damage, is leading the net worth chart.
So many eliminations. I mean, he's been in that fight the entire time. He's stomping on everybody, Nick. Anybody who dies, he's got tagged. And that is the power of Bounce House as well. The damage on the jump, 350, nothing to sniff at. And Interlopers know that best themselves. He actually gets some very generous damage there on an Cassie as well. And now onto the point, trying to fight the Barrack. Not invincible, though, as this Buck. He hit his head. That could be a problem. Oh, Bounce House going to save him. Keep him alive for now. Bugsy on the point still with Makoa. Looking to find one more. Ancient Rage pops out. It's going to clean up Ruckus. And now he's looking for his next target, Barrack. Oh, boy. You just no. Not going to stay alive after that one.
Bought time. Another double kill for Perdo. As soon as the tanks are brought low, Perdo is able to find the squishies in the backline. Now he's just looking for the zone. He's looking to dismount everybody coming out of spawn right now. We'll find Ruckus on the high ground. Nice heroic leap just to change positions while staying on the high ground. Sees the bear coming through as well. This is what I'm talking about. It's just like poetry as he weaves through the map. He knows exactly the angles he needs to take to get from high ground spot to high ground spot.
Jump back up.
Knows these maps like the back of his hand.
And I love the positioning too as well. Running the extra strength on leg day. Pops into the ult. Oh boy, Buck Wild, 2 kills from Perdo. Wants to find 3. That should be easy for him, but that one gets taken down. The elimination, no kill. He wants the finishing blow on this, but Jera picks it up as well. This Buck play out of this world. And man, they have no answer for it on the side of Interlopers with 3-0 going the score for D69.
It's a dominant performance from the district right now. Coming Goomba stomping Spunky in the corner. Nowhere for him to run. It was a dimensional link away, but it doesn't really matter as the pressure is being kept up by Sheepa as well, who is pumping almost as much damage through these team fights as Perdo is. As flashy as this is, we've been on him the whole time, and for good reason. Will he go down here? Finally, low, the 27 streak meets its end.
Spunky, Spunky gets 100% on his ult now, so Interlopers...
Freest dome shield ever.
Exactly. Get the dome shield. They're going to stay because you see how much of the pacing that Perdo was able to control with that pressure. Sheepa, though, finding a kill, but Skill Gannon picks one up as well. They fought enough time for Perdo to get back into the fight as Buck, and he continues jumping around as Jera here in the backside gets taken down. There's the Ruckus trying to fire onto Perdo and get him out of the fight. I expect he'll just be able to move around. He's still there. You can't chase this guy, and that's one of the powers of Bounce House. Whether he's attacking you, or whether you're trying to chase him down, it's so difficult to do either.
Sitting on the payload right now, Bugsy takes down Spunky, however, pops the Ancient Rage. A lot of ultimate charge coming through for every member of District 69. Dredge anchors the Ruckus back in, but is shut down by the Dragon Punch. Buck Wild is still here to drive this fight home. Perdo continuing to leave, keeping everyone in their spawn. Cyberbully won't even let Interlopers come out to play.
And he doesn't want to change that one bit. He's fine getting the bad rap. He knows that people are going to call him a bully, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because his team want to get this victory. They want to get this W and hand that L to Interlopers as quickly as possible. 3-0, could be 4-0 if things don't change here. Great shot. Bugsy finishes off Spunky. Now Drogo's nowhere to run. Shotgun sniper back at it again. Hits him in the air, and then the display of grace and
God bless
strength,
that bald head,
and bravado, and it was poetry. It was theater, I would say. Perdo just jumping down. That was probably one of the more exciting and like just gratifying player cams I think we've watched for a game.
We watched him the whole game.
I mean, because he didn't die. I mean, he just didn't die. He kept jumping. It was just constant action. It's like, man, that was beautiful.
What else do we want to watch? And over on the scoreboard, seeing how how much he was able to push home Peridot. 72,000 damage, second only to Sheepa's Grok, who fed Peridot. That's crazy to me that he was so deep that whole time and still only one death, knowing exactly when he needs to get out.
72,000 damage.
That's it. I mean, you guys saw it. That was pretty much the whole game. There were shock pulses, you know, weaving their way into the back line as well. Sheepa was holding it down, but just so much pressure kept up from Peridot. Elvenpath keeping him shielded as well. Anyone that managed to slip through that pressure, Bugsy was there to hook him out, and Jera doing his thing. 59,000 damage.
With this
healing.
with this mobility, I mean, he truly does what a flanker should do, which is distract, right? But he doesn't have that kind of bug because he's naturally tanky, because he's got the self-healing, because Bounce House now with the charges and how close they are together. He almost doesn't have that kind of negative that a flanker has, right? Where you get in, you distract, but now, once you've gotten in, if you haven't killed your target, you could be in trouble, right? Because now your mobility's down or whatever. He's almost in the place of an Eevee, where she was when she was extremely valued in both scenes, because
it's like a wormhole where you get to go back to wherever you want.
Yeah, or keep going. It's like the adventure can continue, or you can restart and try again. That's the thing. Buck just with the instant restart button with Bounce House and making a clear statement here. And again, I don't know if Burrito would have fallen for that as well. They might have been a little bit more concise, a little bit more contained, a little bit more mature in dealing with Peridot's Buck, and therefore maybe they weren't comfortable in running it. But man, how could you not bring that out every game here, especially now on Jaguar Falls?
It's a little bit tighter, a little bit more constricted, not as much room for Buck to fly around on the high ground,
yeah.
while at the same time keeping himself safe. That's kind of the uniqueness to the Serpent Beach.
Sure.
We've seen Buck kind of excel there because it's just enough room for Buck to be able to leap from spot to spot, but it's just enough cover as well to keep him safe. Jaguar Falls is kind of more on the closed-in spectrum, where Androxus kind of starts to be a little bit more favorable.
Yeah.
And I heard that this guy can play a pretty good Androxus as well.
I heard, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen any evidence of that. Peridot hasn't really shown that he can handle Androxus very well. I think we all know that watching, so I don't know. There's a lot he's got to prove. D69 take Ying. Great pick and pretty standard here for the meta. Interlopers follow up with the Drogos. Will they keep it moving, though, with the Barrack, the Makoa, and maybe the Grok here, where they've loved taking Makoa is going to be selected. They feel like that's the answer. They didn't like that in tandem with how much pressure the Buck could put up last game.
A good pick, the Makoa Dredge Anchors. It's so good for displacement, especially on this map where there are a lot of line of sight breaks. So the second you see someone on the back foot looking like they want to start retreating, you can Dredge Anchor them back in or pull them out of favorable position for a team fight at any point. It's always a valuable asset to have for your team. But District 6, it's hard for me to say like they should pick this tank here, because District 69 they feel like they can play every tank so well. Yeah. And frankly, so do the Interlopers. A lot of these guys have shown a lot of mastery on these frontliners.
Barrack, Grok, very, very cool duo right now, especially Barrack and Ying together. Interlopers take the Androxus away, which was admittedly in that last set versus Wolves. Spunky was really the highlight for them on Jaguar Falls, this map specifically, with his Androxus play. Got about 80,000 or so damage in that game, and really was a highlight. Torvald now selected, so this is 2 tanks, 2 healers, D69. They could go really tanky here, Nick. I mean, the Victor would add a lot of long-range damage, but again, I don't see why. Why would you? That's what I'm saying, man. He just had such a great game. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The reason is Shaolin is a little bit better at dealing with Buck with the Impaler Arrow, can lock the Buck down for a time, and Maldamba, as he sees the Heroic Leap coming in, can start to prime the Snake Stun as well. Buck's a pretty big target. He's going to struggle. I think he's not going to be as free farm as it was on Serpent Beach. It's a little bit more closed in on Jaguar Falls, where Androxus, I think, is going to have a lot more pressure. And Drogos as well, being on the side of Interlopers. I like this draft from these guys. It's a lot of damage, a lot of guys that can drive this team fight. Drogos can carry a team fight, Shaolin can carry a team fight, and Androxus can carry a team fight. Very dangerous draft here from the Interlopers, but likewise, for District 69, they got one that's tough to break. Bounce House for Peridot's Buck, running Maelstrom for Sheepa's Grok. They've got Bugsy running Architectonics for now on the Barrack. We'll have to see if he sticks with that legendary Resonance to Shatter. For Jared. Maybe he's just going to style on him, dude.
He's not.
Maybe.
No way.
Field Study for Elvenpath Torvald.
Desert Shadow currently for creatives, but we'll see if he sticks with that. Could be, though. Dark Stalker for Netherstep. He has run it. Ripened Gourd for Maldamba. A little bit of extra slows there. Fusillade for Skill Ganon, and Pluck for Unbelievable. And it looks like Jared did, I believe, switch back to Lifelike there on the Ying. just to confirm that, can we just confirm that?
Did,
Left side?
yeah,
he did. Okay, just to make sure. That's what I thought. No style points for you. We get back into the action here, and you see the first blood coming through. Oh boy, the damage raining down from Skill Cannon. Spunky picks up the first kill onto Perdo, so things go sharply in a different way. But D69 still with the control over the objective, 60% and counting forward now. They've basically won this fight, unless Interlopers have a prayer.
They have Perdo coming back in as well. Pops the recovery. Shaolin planted on the point. Perdo just keeping everyone busy.
Oh!
There's the lockdown we're talking about, though. That is what Perdo is going to have to deal with more often than not in this game.
And of course the Planet too. If Planet was available, that would have been a dead Perdo. And that is why you see he's gonna have to pick his moments a little bit more. It's not gonna be so free, but still Perdo being that pseudo front line. And that's what I really like about this. You got the Baron, you got the Torvald, but you also got, oh my God, Sheepa.
Ping pong.
Ping pong, I thought we were playing Paladins, not ping pong, buddy. Look at this. Grok going in with the shock pulse bounces, Maelstrom. Oh boy, these Interlopers, I would say, are thunderstruck.
It's time for Cyberbully Sheepa not letting anyone come out to play. Jaguar Falls, you know, the closer it is, the shock pulse is going to do more and more damage, be able to bounce to more and more targets. And Makoa just trying to lock down somebody right now. We'll lock down Sheepa, but what does it really get done? The healing totem is still down. This Sheepa is still very healthy. Cauterized ones are all that Interlopers have to deal with this right now, and it's just not enough.
There it is, the Ghost Walk. Will this be enough? Gets to a Ying clone. He can't go into his ultimate because he'll be too vulnerable, needs the damage. And they get the kill, and this could be a 2-0. Man, one of the faster 2-0s we've seen here on Jaguar Falls. Things look to be considerably similar, I would say, in terms of this point fight and the push and the last several points as well. D69 proving they are right now just in another league over Interlopers.
When you see a Maldamba going all in on a kill for a Grok, you know it's desperation for Interlopers. And didn't end up getting the kill, didn't end up saving the round as well. The conversion goes through for District 69. You can see the cauterized 2s coming through for those guys, so a lot of this healing is going to be shut down from Spunky. He's going to have a very tough time keeping his team alive. Just because everyone who has it on District 69 is so effective at applying it. Sheepa's beam, you can literally just spray that around a team fight just for the coverage, even if you're not interested in going for the kills. Perdo, the range on the shotgun is going to be very good. The targets that he's going to be on are going to be already in need of that healing in the back line.
Very clutch shield as well coming through. Dread Serpent doesn't get much out of there. In fact, Creative standing still for Planet. It's going to be the perfect humanoid totem for Grok to land his shock pulse off and start affecting the team. And Jaguar Falls, we talk about this a lot. You know, it's a great closed-in map, and we say, oh, Buck's going to suffer here. This champion's going to do okay here. Grok is fantastic here because of the close proximity. You just can't stand far enough away from your teammates.
As he does.
As he dies.
Cast a curse.
Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna, he was out there, he probably wasn't planning on coming back alive from that anyway. He was super, super overextended, just looking for the zone, just looking to dismount everyone. And we could switch to Jera's cam and he would be under absolutely no pressure right now and just capturing the point for free. 3-0, District 69 go up. That's the type of zone. These guys aren't afraid to trade their life for the better of the team. They aren't afraid to overextend. They're not afraid to put it all on the line just to buy a few more seconds, put themselves in a little bit better of a spot.
Perdo gets 2 there. Brazilian's coming through from Melvin Path as well. Doesn't want the stun, doesn't want the Dread Serpent, doesn't want any potential knockbacks, doesn't want the Impaler stun. Coming out from Shaolin. It's not going to affect the Makoa hook. A lot of people not sure whether that interaction takes place. Does not affect the hook from Makoa. And it does, though, keep him very, very safe in these big clutch team fight moments where he wants to get his Hyper Beam off and change the tide of battle. Of course, he's not CC immune, unlike Makoa, who that CC immunity clearly doesn't matter. The bounce is delayed, so he gets the 350 damage. Could be the difference in killing Drogos, but hunts down the Shaolin, but Shaolin looks to hunt him back. Creatives getting a kill on the Buck. Finally, Perdo falling down. Sheepa here getting the taste of a full-blooded Planet, but the shield from Torvald and the pressure here from Spunky is going to do enough to just stay D69 for now, but they're still knocking on the door.
Enough damage from the accursed arm. It just feels like there's always more in the tank for District 69. Elbapath falling low. Doe's already back.
He got him.
Keeps him safe. Sheepa pops the Tempest to try and keep his boys alive, but they will both fall, and finally finding a stabilization play. The Interlopers take some defensive positionings around their base. They have a minute to stave off the onslaught from District 69.
I think we saw a really good example there of why Shaolin is a great counter to Buck, right? Perdo just jumps in, just gets exploded by the planet.
Yep, they're starting to figure that out.
And, you know, you see Creatives having a lot of trouble in just hitting a Buck, but he's got to make sure he keeps those cooldowns alive for when Buck does eventually decide to leap onto him. And Perdo needs to make sure that he uses Planet before he jumps in onto the Shaolin. But look at that, activates Buck. Wow, gets taken down. This is why Bugsy may run, or other Barrack players may run Tinkerin to finish off those shots and get a little bit more damage on the long-range targets, but he actually wasn't able to clean it up. His teammate Elvin Path was. Hyper Beam has the potential use to be available, but they don't even need it. D69 really a class above here and takes the win 4-0, takes the set 2-0.
Did you guys see how Bugsy was hiding behind that Ying clone there at the end?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have any cooldowns. It's just the little things. These are the little things that you guys at home can start doing. That's the easy thing to do. These little things are what sets the team apart. Bugsy doesn't have any cooldowns. Doesn't have anywhere to go. It just goes hides behind the Ying clone. Just starts, you know, bobbing and weaving behind there. Just trying to stay safe. I just love seeing those little things. That keep me going.
Yeah, exactly. Me too, man. I think about Ying clones all the time. You see the scoreboard here. And Yang, she was somebody that unfortunately they didn't think about enough. Only one death. Jera stays alive way too much. And 52,000 healing, maybe not the biggest difference. Maldamba only 20,000 behind, but and makes up with a lot of it for having 10,000 more. But
there's that weird microculture that is District 69 going on right now, where there's two of them, you know, 300 yards away, zoning out in front of spawn, and then Jera's just sitting on the point.
Yeah.
With Bugsy, just like, what's up?
What's going on? Sheba, though, impressive healing numbers, Nick. 1,237. In fact, if that was 1,234, his healing would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been another Illuminati sign.
Pretty cool.
That would have been Illuminati, dude.
Are we missing anything weird from District 6? Did they like tie in shielding or objective time?
Oh my God, dude. They tied in. Perdo and Elvin Path both died 4 times.
Kamiker, unbelievable creatives. Oh, that's an 8. I thought that was 6-6. We got 6-6-7. Shout outs to Weekend.
We have vision in your healthcare, right?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, just double checking.
I got excited. The Illuminati.
So we're going to actually come back and let you see our little beautiful faces here as we talk about, you know, what's coming up next, and it's going to be a big long. Just kidding, not break. We're not going on a break. We're actually moving on. Aren't you happy?
We're rolling.
We're still not using the restroom. We're excited for you. We just want to bring a little bit more Paladins.
Right into the next set.
Bring a little bit more Paladins esports into your life, and we're really excited about it. And
we don't have to pee.
And you know what? You know what we do have to do though? Tell them about first win of the day.
Gotta go get your first wins of the day.
You gotta get it.
They don't have a chance to. We're not going on break, but
that's right.
After the
no
broadcast,
breaks.
Go get your first wins of the days in live. Get them for all of 3 wins, getting all those radiant chests. Beautiful stuff. That is available to you.
That's right. We're going into the standings now to see where everybody levels out. And, of course, who's having the worst end of the day. And sometimes it's not necessarily just that they're under, you know, the quality of these teams. It's just maybe they just didn't have a good day, and it reflects in both of their games here. And so they fall 0-4 after, you know, kind of winning one of the weekends of the open bracket qualifiers. Very surprising here. Wolves Esports 2-0ing them. Burrito Esports actually following along, losing to D69, who are the big winners of the day, 4-1. And now it will be Wolves versus Burrito to see if this standing kind of stays the same or if Burrito are able to take that big advantage over Wolves.
They have the chance to do so here, Wolves. And Burrito, the final matchup of the day. So this is an important match for me, right? This kind of this is going to determine that second seed right now.
This means a lot.
The winner of this set kind of proves themselves to be in that second spot. And Wolves have been the closest tradition. I believe they did find a win over Burrito because Burrito lost in the semifinals one of the weeks during the open bracket. Stone Keep will be where game number 1 is played. Timber Mill banned out by Wolves. Burrito banning out. Serpent Beach bans, shout outs.
Maybe they have some kind of interesting strategy here that they want to pull out.
Sometimes veteran teams will ban out maps like Serpent Beach just because the veteran squads have more experience across a wider variety of maps. So they try to use that to their advantage, put the lower end teams, the newer teams, on maps that they're not as comfortable on.
And, you know, if you've been playing for longer, you've got more practice in. That's hopefully what they're leaning on being the reason they win. But Wolves, with first pick, grab Ying. And, you know, we mentioned that this could be a lot to tell who's in the power rankings, who's, you know, 1 or 2 or 3. But really, I mean, this means land. The top 2 guarantee themselves a trip to high-res and basically to compete in that spring land with $75,000 on the line. This set means a lot for both of these teams here.
Torvald, Shaolin, response to Wolves, Ying, Ruckus locked in as well. Makoa's still on the board. Barrick's still on the board, notably in the frontliner department. So the kind of 180 swap here in terms of Torvald's prioritizations for Burrito. They thought he stunk when he released, but he did get the Field Study Legendary, which has been very, very popular amongst
And admittedly, they were using him even before the Field Study Legendary. They had started to kind of find some rhythm with him, but now he definitely has become something that they love and want to bring into their lineups. They've got 2 picks now available. Burrito could go for some extra healing here. Sometimes you think, well, they're not going to take another Maldamba, so we don't have to pick Maldamba here, but we've seen them do it time and time again to be able to kind of counterpick whether they're damaged, their tank, or flex on something else. So here comes the Maldamba one more time.
Yeah, and that may be why, you know, I think that was a great point that you brought up as to why they don't take it last, because they want to save their last pick to just try and counter as much as they can, because when you lock yourself into the final pick Maldamba, you're saying this is what we've got on the table, right?
Right.
His first 4 picks are what we're running. You know what our 5th pick's going to be. We need that healer, so they like to take it 4th. Come out swinging with the final Bomb King pick.
And this is
but
very good.
Solo Torvald into a Drogos and a double front line, that's going to be tough to break.
I mean, Torvald is not your typical solo frontliner. We'll see if Burrito can make it work. I mean, if any team in Europe can, they're definitely one of them. But he's not typically designed to be withstanding definitely pressure coming out from someone like a Grover from long range, a Ruckus from long range, a Drogos from long range, and a Barrick and Ying up close. I'm really loving the draft here by Wolves. And we'll see if Mundestina can keep his winning ways here. Fusillade to deal with that Torvald, bring him down as much as possible. Deep Roots by Grover. Flux Generator for Ruckus. Tinkering by Respa for now, and Lifelike for Yang.
Bonker running the recurve, getting the attack speed rolling on Shaolin. Accelerant mobility for Lazy's Bomb King. Darkstalker mobility for Lemonade's Androx's Field Study for Birds, Torvald, and finally Spirit's Chosen for Sun Commander's Maldamba. So I think what Burrito are going to be looking to do here with this composition is pick these tanks apart from a distance. Stonekeep, it doesn't force you to fight directly on the point. You can kind of do that where you pick stuff apart from range and then move in once your targets are softened up, once cooldowns are down. Respa's getting in there, drops his turret out in front of the barricade, leaving it open to poke here from Shaolin. First blood still has yet to fall.
Very wary to stand on the objective, but Lazy now getting pressured out. This is going to be a big decision. It's going to be a big difference maker here. If Lazy can win these fights as Bomb King, if he goes down and if he just becomes irrelevant in this fight, I think Burrito loses this one pretty handily. But if Lazy can keep staying relevant, if he can keep finding kills, winning 1v1s, then they will have a big chance here. Lemonade actually gets the kill on the Respa, but Mundestina follows up on the Lazy, and that could be a problem here. That Bomb King counting for so much of that point pressure, but still, Wolves very hesitant to step on the objective.
Good job reversing out that follow-up axe from Simslow. No one's taken a convincing enough win here to get on the point. NTBs finally falls to Lemonade there, and Burrito confidently take their first steps onto the point here and moving north of 50%.
You know what? This is that big boy pressure. This is just what Burrito bring to the table. Wolves Esports are right here. They have the opportunity with 2 tanks in Ying to just step on the point. They could have had 30 or 40% on the objective here and let those flankers 1v1. It could be okay and really force Burrito to say, you want to do that? We're just going to win the point even though you're going to take our flankers. And they don't. They show so much respect. I just don't know. Great shot there, combo with the Deep Roots. I just don't know if Wolves are playing this as aggressively as I would like to see them play it.
Fire spit coming out. Wolves now in a favorable spot here. They got Bird kind of isolated. They don't elect to put any more pressure on him. Big salvo onto the high ground. Lazy's going to eat a lot of pressure from that. The fire spit angle is good as well. Lazy goes down once again.
Mundestina doing what he needs to do. Lemonade there at 50 health somehow stays alive, and Darkstalker will keep him healthy, but 90% here for Wolves, 99% for Burrito. Mundestina gets the kill, and that's huge. No healing now for Burrito. This probably will mean that Wolves will take point number 1 unless Lazy can make some crazy plays here. Great fire spit, gets the damage, but no, it is all Wolves. 1-0 should be the case. Overtime ticks away. And the fire spit into the salvo.
Nice style points there.
2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Wolves with the lead.
They take it away from Burrito there. A nice split of damage there. A nice target switch from Modestina. He saw Bird was low, so he switched, took down the Maldamba instead. Has the King Bomb here. Lazy sees the clump. Does he go for the big King Bomb here early on? The payload push, not for now. Just gonna elect to just continue to fire uncontested from the high ground.
Oh,
there.
nice
Nice bomb into the back of Modestina's head. Now is a good angle on Ruckus to put a lot of hurt into this team.
This is what Lazy needs to do, but he goes down before he can confirm the kills onto the Ruckus, and only four members alive, only one dies as a result of all that pressure. So again, there's just so much that they're relying on for Bomb King, and great vine by Grover to get out of the Hyper Beam's radius there and keep himself alive here. Torvald falling under Modestina's pressure, the shield just collapsing, and look at the damage from the turrets and from the Dragon up top. Lazy very, very pressured out. Shaolin trying to stay alive, Eliminate doing what he can, but it is just not enough with the tankiness of this squad of Wolves.
Lazy on the backside looking for an angle for his King Bomb still. Minute 15 remain on the payload push. As the final corner is just about to be rounded here. Bates looking to be broke. Burrito need to find a hold. They have everything available except Hyper Beam. There comes the protection from Lemonade. Finds a big headshot, but so much damage comes through anytime he steps a foot out of position.
Modestina's doing a great job. He's just zoning out Lazy. Lazy's finding him too, but you know what? Modestina's also making Lazy feel very wary here, and this could be the answer. Whirlwind comes out from Grover. Huge stuff. Early game ultimate. It's going to make so much of a difference here in keeping his teammates healthy before the cauterized 2s and 3s can come online. Lazy tries to pick up Sleepy, but a dimensional leak will make that difficult. Tries to find her with the dimensional link back to an earlier position, but cannot do it. And this is a little bit of a tough battle for Lazy too, because the illusions will keep her healthy and another teammate.
He's in a weird spot right now. Any respawns coming back from base is going to be able to spawn him out. Respite just ignores him though. Wants to head back to the point. Lemonade goes down. Shaolin is here. King Bomb's being wound up from the back. This one has to find a home.
Huge stuff there going in. One more fire spit. Lazy's dead. This is big time. They might use the Dragon Punch to secure it. I don't know. It could be a very valuable thing to go 2-0 up, but they won't have it for next point fight. They'd rather do it without it, but they may just go into it. There's Modestina. It's time to kick it into overgear. He wants to find it, and they will. Bird goes down. Finds one more fire spit. Double kill for Modestina. Looking for the triple.
Nice.
Oh, he gets 3 on the Burrito. Wants to find 4. Will he get it? No. But it will be all Wolves Esports. The pack of Wolves find success
These
in that
guys
prey.
are looking hungry today, taking the 2-0 conversion over Burrito. Beautiful fire spits there at the end over the top of that statue. It was a very close call, but Modestina, he gets it home after, albeit a low value Dragon Punch. I think Bird only had something like, you know, a couple hundred HP left. Still able to get it done. Beautiful stuff from them. They got the record 2 online for NTB's. Modestina only has record 1 online, but does go for the Haven 2. So trying to mitigate a lot of that damage, a lot of that pressure that's been on him from Lemonade. He's know that that's the guy that's going to be hunting him down. So he goes to negate that pressure. NTB's also has Rejuvenate 2 online, countering a lot of the cauterized pressure. And there's only 2 of them, right? And Lazy hasn't been focusing the tanks too much, and neither has Lemonade.
So right now we have a pause. This is a good pause. It's, you know, before obviously the combat begins, and we see Simsalo just wants to get a couple more words with his team here, or possibly a DC. Not quite sure of the situation, but what we do know is Wolves have taken a huge advantage over Burrito. 2-0 up, a huge push, capitalized and just umphed with a triple kill by Modestina. And again, he's kind of been the difference maker today for Wolves.
Absolutely.
You know, you talk about interlopers and them not having the best day. It's that much more of a difference when someone has a great day, especially when these games matter so much. And Modestina, he's been showing up.
He's been one of their playmakers. He's very critical to their team fight success. He's normally on one of the hyper carries, the Androxus, the Drogos. He's got great flexibility as well. It's not often that we see guys be able to play Androxus and Drogos projectile and hit scan as effectively as this guy has been. His decision-making's been on point, and they put themselves in a great spot, up 2-0 on Burrito. Have no ultimates for this point fight, whereas you see Wolves, they're sitting on the Dome Shield as well as almost a Hexafire, Illusory Rift, and Whirlwind, so they are in a phenomenal spot.
So much pressure on the Lazy. These mid-air fire spits, too, for Modestina have been extremely successful. In fact, that's how he got the 3rd of his triple kill on that push. Being able to do that is just what makes a great Drogos great, in my opinion, just to keep the pressure on, keep the AoE damage coming, and still staying safe in the air. When you follow the ground, you're just so much more vulnerable, and it makes it that much harder for Lazy. Really trying to be the natural predator here, but he's not really the natural predator of anyone but the tanks. And this is where he wants to shine. Sub Commander with a great Dread Serpent. Bonker and Lazy follow up. Lemonade picks one of themselves, and it's just a full-on team wipe here for Burrito on Wolves.
This old dog knows a few tricks still. Burrito not out of this game yet. Know that they know how to take a clean team fight there. Beautiful Dread Serpent there with the follow-up planned out. There's a king bomb onto the high ground, but it's gonna whiff. He finds the stun onto Drogos, however. Bonker able to help drive 2 of those kills home, so not all is lost.
That would have been one of the hyper plays, though. Tried to aim for the small window, but just couldn't make it happen. And the damage still from Lazy, playing confidently as ever. And 2-1 goes to score for Burrito, who definitely used that ultimate, not only just because of, you know, obviously, to get the damage, but it's really
there.
for the
Just listen to that sound. Pumpkin has some great sounds.
Hey, do you think they're annoyed yet? All right, let's get back to the game. That's my strategy there.
They're just trying to hit him with the sonic boom pause, make everyone listen to that. For
My ears! I can't. I have to take my hands off my keyboard. Oh, they're back in game. No. That's just, I don't know. Maybe, right? They want to figure some things out. Things have started to go well for Burrito now. I feel like we're checking in at, like, you know, and like narrating a very small story.
The TV timeout.
Exactly. Like, you know, things in that chapter, things went pretty well for Burrito, but will they keep it going?
It's just like when you have to watch a movie, like the Hollywood First Take with Mario Lopez popping into your movie like every 30 seconds. Hey guys, how you enjoying the movie?
Mario Lopez.
In that last scene, I'm going to break down exactly what you just saw, even though you understand fully.
You know, Mario Lopez is just a funny guy, man. He's so happy. He's so happy. I can't complain. I'm one of those happy guys as well. But I think Burrito right now shifted the momentum very importantly. They've taken what I think was a blunder, you know, to start out. They just didn't get the right, I think, I don't know, personally, draft going for them in this map. I think they kind of have the odds stacked against them. Personally, I think just the draft for Wolves is better, and that showed in round 1. But now Lazy able to still play confidently after not having a great, you know, start to this game. It's been a big shift.
It's tough to run the solo to overall, I think, especially into the Drogos, guys that hit super hard with Wrecker, scale super well with Wrecker. It's very difficult for Bird to kind of keep his team safe and lock down the point and hold the front line against 2 frontliners. They have the Ruckus. Oh my gosh, there's just so much pressure on Burrito right now. They've drafted themselves in a kind of a weird spot. And the Bomb King is still something that's like new to, I wouldn't call it a staple of what Burrito does just yet.
Right.
Lazy really didn't play it at all before HRX. It's kind of like a new thing, I think, overall for that squad.
You know, in Wolves, I think the key is stop playing as if you have a greater opponent than yourselves. You really need to just take it to them. Right now, a 2-0 lead, you got to smell blood in the water. You got to be like a pack of wolves. Just oh, there's somebody injured over there. I need to finish this off, guys. It is go time. And the fact that you have Burrito 2-0 up, I mean, that's an opportunity not a lot of teams get. You need these wins to get yourself in the top 2. You know, you need to go straight to the point. I'd like to see them use the strategy of what they drafted a little bit better, getting to that point, really making Burrito say, you're going to come deal with us because we got the point pressure.
They're not getting a ton of chip damage. And albeit, you know, Burrito does have the comp to try and pick them apart from range, but they drafted the double frontliner with the Ying as well. They can use the repulsor field to get 60% damage mitigation and just try and shut down as much as you can. But that chip damage is so important. You saw Burrito, Bird is finding that chip damage on the point. He's getting the Burrito to 20 to 30% before the team fight really starts to happen.
Yeah.
And then when Burrito win the team fight, they just take the point outright.
Yeah.
You only need to find that one convincing win when you're taking that little bit. Every second counts on the point capture.
And Drogos, I mean, leave Drogos in the sky, let him do what he needs to do, force out Shaolin, force out Lemonade on Shaolin, force out Lazy, make sure he's not comfortable, and, you know, really just put yourself in a position to say, okay, come here. And I think if you have Modestina still firing on all cylinders and you go to the point and keep those frontliners doing their job, you got a chance to win this one. Back into the game, 2 minutes left. It's been all Burrito lately, but Modestina, the man on the tongue, finishes off a kill onto Lazy. And they've stalled this payload push for now. There's no momentum here. Will not be a super fast one. They're going to delay.
Salvo primed and ready. Triggering the fire spit, it's an interaction we don't often see. You can actually detonate your fire spits with a salvo, getting those primed up at the same time. Fire spit onto the high ground. It's going to land on the bunker, poking him out to about half health. But Lazy's taking a slight bit of damage as well. Long-range fire spit. This is a Bugsy level fire spit. Doesn't actually connect. Hits the wall there. 1:24 remaining. Dome shield comes through, but Lazy kills him immediately, dropping the dome shield. The damage from dome shield is not something to be that super scared of. Lazy knows this, and he drives the kill home.
Lazy with a 1 streak gets the protection from Torvald. Acts 40% more damage onto those bombs as he's trying to break the shields. Very impactful accelerant. Going to keep him alive, but put him right into the path of Drogos' rocket and allow him to finish off a kill. Again, using the salvo to take the fire spit and explode that while getting the extra damage raining from above. I like the use of those 2 abilities there by Drogos in this fight. Modestina still showing that he's having a good day.
Dragon Punch ready to go. 40 seconds remain here. Gets caught out by the Grumpy Bomb. Double stun, but Lazy doesn't finish the kill. Does get one onto Respa. King Bomb's being wound up, coming around the corner, looking for value. Will find the immediate kill onto Sipsalo. Stuns out the Ruckus, but forces the boys of Wolves back, and that's all Burrito need. They need to keep pinned in spot now. NTB's forced into a rough spot. Respa in a bad spot as well.
They've got to get something here. Bonker, though, he's there finding the shots. Bonker, he's performed so well on this champion. And oh boy, it looks like it's all Burrito tying things back up here over Wolves. And if there was hesitation, it has cost them dearly. Burrito strong back in this game. Credits tied and momentum shifted into round 3.
Rejuvenates
round 2
through
3
to try and fight off some of this cauterized pressure. You see Lemonade and Lazy have already hit the cauterized 3 mark. So Rejuvenate's gonna be very, very necessary here to keep any sort of sustained incoming 90% healing reduction at the cauterized 3 marks. Rejuvenate will help alleviate some of that, but not much is it. That is only 10% bonus healing per level. So getting them from the 90% to this 80 or the 70 mark, depending on where they're at. Ultimate charges, though, 3 online for Wolves. Burrito have everything except King Bomb available. So now they're in a good spot here. A little bit of a blunder here. Wolves allow Burrito back into the game.
Good stuff. Groper there to deal with the snipers. Gets 1,100 damage onto Bonker already, but now he's got other problems to deal with. There's a flanker on the backside. They take down Sleepy, and that is huge. No healing now, and the poke battle has gone all the way of Wolves. Dread Serpent coming through. Wants to find Bird, and he can. That's huge. Can they kill the dragon? Shaolin almost gets hit by the fire spit, but not enough. Simsalo cannot keep Modestina alive, and now Burrito Esports are the one who fought on the objective and have 45% on the capture point now. That is what is so powerful about taking the objective fight and just making it your own there. Great stuff by Simsalo. He's going to pick up Lemonade, and this isn't over by any means.
Bird rooted out on the point, but the Hyper Beam is here to pin Simsalo to the back wall, not allowing him any closer to the point.
Wow.
A couple more axes will do it. Grumpy Bomb, and he's able to backpedal his way to safety for the time being. The Grover just taking fate into his own hands here. Wants to drive these kills home. It's not going to be on the point. Comes through with the Whirlwind, keeping everyone alive. Here's a big King Bomb rolling deep into the back line. We'll find a stun onto 3.
Huge. Doesn't get the damage off, and Lazy goes down. That could be the momentum they needed. Modestina alive, and oh boy, Lemonade finds 2 onto Respa and Modestina himself, but Ruckus is back on the point, and it does look like Lemonade will fall. Bonker on a 10 streak as well. Just hasn't had an answer for him, and he hunts down Sleepy and goes into withdraw. A little bit of stealth there. Simsalo trying to do everything, but Dread Serpent will do even more. And now Burrito, 99% on the objective. Look like they'll easily clean this one up. There just doesn't seem to be enough time or enough help for Wolves Esports to get back into this.
Triple kill for Lazy on the Bomb King. Looking to get that King Bomb ultimate charge back up very quickly here. Already sitting at 66 and climbing every shot that he hits, giving him 4 to 5% charge on that big heavy team fight, winning ultimate. Potentially the accelerant on the Poppy Bomb is good as well. Finds a nice poke onto the Ruckus.
And Bonker 13 streak, man. Just staying alive here. Also kind of focusing. Lazy doing a great job of keeping the attention on himself, allowing Bonker to just silently, stealthily be in the back line, getting 1,000 damage per shot, impaling targets, making it easy for Lazy to then follow up with the damage and the multiple bombs. Just being so deadly when used correctly. Dome Shield popped by Barrack. He's going into all of his resources here just to stabilize. They know the game could be over at any second. Lazy still has his ultimate, using the emote to try and see around the corner. There's Simslo, though. He wants to hunt him down, but does not want to face off against this Bomb King Accelerant, giving him all the movement speed he needs to get there and now get back.
Minute 24 remain. King Bomb is charged up, ready to go, as well as Heat Haze, as well as a Cursed Arm just coming back up. Here comes a Salvo Fire Spit over the top, finding a lot of poke damage, winding up the King Bomb around the backside, though. This could be big. He gets it off, gets the protection as well, so he's going to take 2 down with him, but Lazy trades his life to give his team a fighting shot.
This could be the end. Androxus, a Cursed Arm. They've got to finish him off. Trades the ult and doesn't get the kill, but they do find Respa. And Bird is still alive here as well. Sun Commander helping to keep him nice and healthy. This is a dangerous combination. Maldamba goes down, but oh no, Torvald to help it out. But Lazy's back right when you need him. And boy, oh boy, Burrito want to close this one out quickly. Whirlwind available for Grover. He's going to pop it right now, but he's going to fall. Oh boy, no. Eliminate going to get the answer here, Nick. And this could be it. Grumpy Bomb misses, but it seems like they've got all the momentum on Burrito's side.
Respa's going to be taken down as well. There's another nice Dread Serpent. Sun Commander has been nailing these Dread Serpents, swinging the fight so heavily in Burrito's favor. There comes the Hexafire, but he's pinned down almost immediately by Lazy's Bomb King. One more bomb on a Grover's going to do it. Simsalo takes a spell, and we are in the trickle state here. I don't see Wolves being able to fight their way back from this one.
Going to be very tough here as well. They've stalled for a decent amount of time, but not long enough before they could get, admittedly, 3 more players coming in to support them. And Burrito Esports come down from 2-0 and take 4 points in a row and beat Wolves here in the first game of this best-of-3 set.
That's gotta hurt.
That's gotta hurt, man. I'm telling you.
They were off to such a strong start there, getting the 2-0 over Burrito with a lot of momentum on their side in the next round. But I like what you said, though, about just not maybe giving their opponents a little bit too much respect, being a little bit too scared.
Yeah.
They had the composition to just bully their way onto the point and just stay there, whereas we saw the solo Torvald Bird getting that chip damage that we thought Wolves should have been getting on that point, getting his team to 20 or 30% on the capture point before the team fight was even started.
But you know what? This is going to be the answer right here. You talk about, of course, they got great healing for the Ying and 3 big bodies, so there's going to be a lot of damage on the side of Burrito, but 3 members in the 100,000s. In fact, Bonker at 160,000 damage almost. You know, I mean, they had no answer for Bonker, unfortunately, despite Lazy getting so much damage, being so effective, and just taking all of everyone's energy in terms of trying to kill him. There was no competition on the side. Despite how well Mudasina played, they just could not answer with the damage. But Ying, man, 151,000 healing, 46 from Simsalo on Grover. They tried to beat them in the shielding, but you're right. Bird just did a little bit too much, man. If you're going to take that much damage, at least try and do it on the point for some of that time. Exactly.
Sun Commander doing a good job trying to keep up with the Ying and the Grover, obviously at 101K, but his Dread Serpents were phenomenal there. Burrito were winning team fights instantaneously off the back of those beautiful Dread Serpents. So shout outs to the sub commander, switching up his play style a little bit, being what his team needs for him.
And objective time, you mentioned it too. I mean, Bird and Sun Commander 204, 212, and then NTB's Respa there. And especially the Ying, 132, 169, and 56. Oftentimes we see healers have some of the highest objective time in Paladins because that's where they need to be. Very, very strange to see such a low objective time for Sleepy. Just kind of got caught out a little bit when he's typically so good at that healing.
It's going to be game number 1. We'll head on over to the map screen. Frozen Guard is the selection for game number 2. Wolves have the chance here. Try and find the W, but Burrito looking very strong on this map, beating District 69 in the only game of their best-of-3 was on this map. 4-2, a dominant win, so Wolves, they're going to have their work cut out for them.
They sure are. And, you know, if things couldn't go well in the draft last game and still translate to game, I think it's not going to be the draft that decides it. Sure, they got to get themselves a favorable start. Burrito's an excellent opponent. They're going to try to gimp Wolves Esports in this draft as much as possible by just taking as best of a strategy here, maybe coming in with a counter pick that they don't expect and putting them at a disadvantage. But truly, whatever Wolves Esports grab, they just need to, I think, go forward with a bit more of an intention to execute what they drafted.
They take the Ruckus in the response to Ying as well as the Shaolin. So great takeaway from Burrito. I think they can stand to draft the Drogos a little bit later. Burrito's not a team that is like a super prioritization on Drogos. I mean, they have guys that can play it lazy. Normally will take up arms as the Dragon should it come to that, but not a team that really highly prioritizes it.
That's true. Now, this win obviously will tie them up and make sure they go to another game. But what this also does, gets them on the board here, you know, against Burrito. Obviously, that's an important thing, too, going into the standings and looking at that win column. So they definitely want to see if they can get themselves in action here.
Yeah.
Wolves Esports takes Bomb King, hovering over that. Very interesting. And the Makoa, wow.
Maybe they want to get Lazy off of his comfortable blaster. You know, we're saying Lazy's been playing Bomb King, and Burrito don't really like to run Drogos. So Wolves, they see that, they say, all right, we can play the Bomb King if it comes to that, and we'll just force you to play Drogos. Let's see what you got.
Oh boy, but they might just get his Kinessa instead. This could be
It's been a while since we've seen Lazy play Kinessa.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
He's one of the better Kinessa players in the headshot bonus damage shot. You know, a lot of pros will complain about a certain champion being higher or lower. They complain a little bit about Kinessa, not so much anymore. This game, if Lazy goes off, could be a highlight reel for why she's in a good spot right now.
I think this is why you see Burrito don't take the Maldamba in their first 4 picks, right? Because Wolves had completely showed their hand with the Bomb King Makoa picks, and then Burrito, when the pick shifts over to them, they're saying, okay, we're safe to take Kinessa at this point, because if they take a flank to try and kill this Kinessa, they're not going to have a healer, and we're going to win the game anyway.
And, you know, maybe they just prioritized having the Makoa and maybe thought that they'd go for a more tanky route. Burrito have done that before. But this time, we're not going to see Lazy's Kinessa. We'll actually see Lazy's Cassie, which is pretty dang good itself. Exaction, 40% damage on the dodge roll. Field Study, giving him the 40% damage as well. On top of that, Eagle Eye for Eliminate, the headshot bonus damage. Fortify for Berg. As of now, Sun Commander running with Lifelike on Ying.
I mean, that's equally as exciting. Eliminate, that's where he made his name and his top play for the year on Kinessa. So Modestina trying to shut some of that damage down with the Flux Generator. NTB is running half shell on his Makoa. Recurve is the choice for Respis Shaolin. Accelerant for Simsalo's Bomb King. And finally, Spirit's Chosen for Sleepy's Maldamba.
We'll see here if Eagle Eye can pay off. The Kinessa is definitely going to be wary in the back line, but doesn't have too many natural predators on the side of Wolves. Lazy, though, he is looking to hunt them down. Gets the dodge roll, blast shot, finishes it off easy, but gets taken down himself. Haven't seen the impact of the sharpshooter yet in the fight, but Burrito seemed to be doing well here, and she just moving forward in the back line. There she is, wanting to way down, try to find the headshots as much as possible, using a little bit of the quick scope movement speed to just shift over left and right and just cover a little bit more distance. Now, great spot for Kinessa's here. They love this. Bomb King kind of spots her out, but he's got just perfect view of the point fight, both when they retreat and both when they go into the objective. So there's just no safe place to be right now.
They have to elect someone to take out Kinessa. They cannot allow this free fire to happen. 1,200 damage a shot. Already has Headhunter Pop's gonna launch it, sending it in. There's Shaolin trying to shut it down, but a lot of damage coming through. Lemonade punishes Respa for standing still.
Don't stand still in an FPS shooter, buddy. That's why Bumpy Bomb and those stuns are so impactful and important. And Nick, you know what? You're right. This draft was Burrito. This was showing why Burrito do what they do with the Maldamba. And this was Wolves falling into the trap. This is Wolves falling into that trap, because what happens is they've got no natural predator for Kinessa. You either draft your healer or you draft a Kinessa Predator. And right now they went for not a Kinessa Predator. And sure, they've got the healing, but they cannot get to her. Who's going to chase her down? Shaolin? I mean, Bomb King is the only one reasonably, but that is not a reliable pickup, especially on the Frozen Guard open lines of sight that we have.
It's got to be Simsalo going for the all-in play on Kinessa. It's the only answer. I see Burrito able to come away with blockers extremely low right now. Ruckus is going to push him. Modestina finds the kill, but at what cost?
And that's why they're also focusing. You saw Lazy just pick a fight with Bomb King early on. Knows if he gets that kill, it opens everything up for Burrito. There, the Bomb King drops down and expect him to be the choice selection for Burrito Esports if they can. The Makoa gets a hook onto Lazy, but he's able to just heal right back up thanks to the Gord and thanks to, excuse me, not thanks to the Gord, thanks to the protection from Torvald there. Eliminate backing up, long lines of sight, still gonna do damage from afar, misses one shot, hits the other one mid-air, Bomb King, but he has to reload, so he won't get that, but one shot onto Respa. Double kill for Eliminate, looking to find one more, using the bouncing over, activates the Headhunter, can't find one shot, 3,000, 1,500, oh boy, Eliminate going crazy here, and they just have no answer for the sniper.
53 seconds to get this payload, another couple inches, the planet comes out, but Respa didn't learn his lesson, he stands still. It's Bonker with a triple kill there to push the payload through. A lot of credits for Lemonade, who's gone straight into the morale boost. This is a very comfortable game for him with no natural predators like you mentioned. He is taking no defensive options. He's going full offense, pedal to the metal on a 12 streak right now into the Cauterize as well.
And knows how
it's got to
valuable.
be Simsolo that goes and grits him. Respa and Simsolo have to just dedicate their efforts to it.
And D69, Burrito, all they need to do is just make sure Simsolo dies. Otherwise, they're going to have to, you know, there's just nothing that I think Wolves can throw at Lemonade. Now, in this situation, if I was Wolves, I would start to say, let's send Simsolo and NTBs, or let's send Simsolo and Modestina. Let's just mount up and go to wherever Lemonade is. Don't get off the mount yet, because you don't have those inherent movement skills. And just find her and just put her off the sniping game. There you see, they already dismount, and unfortunately, this is just free farming. This is not the answer to deal with a Kinessa, and unfortunately, this all happened before the game even started.
Hyper Beam comes through as well. Pincer maneuver here. Lazy coming around the back just to clean up these low HP targets. That Bird is Hyper Beaming over to him. 18% already on the point, but a nice stun from downtown is going to deter Lazy for the time being. He'll get topped off by the Ying clones fairly quickly.
And that Sun Commander on the point. That's exactly where that healer needs to be. He can throw those Ying illusions out. He can heal from a distance, and they can heal from a distance. So effectively, his range is so much more valuable, and he can still stay on the objective here. Dismounts the Bomb King. You're going to have to use your movement skill to get in, and if you don't kill me by that time, Lemonade says, you're going to get taken down as well. What hits the headshot onto Shaolin. The sound effects just are, I think,
that's the
perfectly,
best sounding. That's my favorite sound.
Yeah, perfectly in synergy with the effect that he's having on the game right now. 2 minutes and 17 seconds, Nick. I mean, 3-0, there's just no answer for Burrito.
Those headshots coming through, 50% more damage with that Eagle Eye card. Lemonade is a guy that is no stranger to headshots, especially on his baby girl Kinessa. The second payload of the game captured for Burrito. It's already moving out past the halfway mark. All the momentum is on the side of the champs right now. They are looking to clean this set up in 2 games.
As a veteran player, you kind of worry at the situation. You know there are some options, but you know they're not easy. And playing against probably even more veteran players and Burrito, you just feel like even if you were to try some of those interesting kind of janky options for how to deal with this Kinessa situation, Burrito would be prepared to counter you and really make you feel the pain for attempting to do something that you're not really intended to do. Simsolo's on a 2 streak, but yet not able to find an answer to the Kinessa. And they have just been pushed back here. These long lines of sight are so dangerous for her. The ultimate is available. He could maybe swing some of this and create a defense. That is their only hope as Wolves. They just try and stall here and find some time, hoping that things will change.
Going all in on spending a lot to try and kill Bird there. They are going to find it. They needed to find it after spending the Dread Serpent just for him. Bonker getting under pressure right now. Simsolo's got a good angle on this fight, as well as Maldamba having a decent angle on this fight. See the Ancient Rage being popped on the backside. The Dome Shield is up as well. Lazy, one more bomb's gonna do it. Lemonade finds Respa on the Shaolin though. 45 seconds remain here for Wolves to try and stabilize and hold the defense against Burrito.
20 streak for Lemonade. Finally gets hooked, and they take him down. That is huge. Sleepy getting the kill, and you know what that means? 83% on a Dread Serpent, even though they just used it. So that could be the difference maker here, Nick. I mean, now they've got another Dread Serpent. They've got a Hexafire available as well. 22 seconds left. They might have just done the exact thing they needed to do. Great Poppy Bomb, oh my boy, by Simsolo, just getting him out from under the shield and throwing a couple shots in the air. Doesn't get the kill, but definitely puts Barrick under pressure.
9 seconds remain here. Burrito They have to find the way to convert here. Wolves desperate for a chance at defense here. The overtime's going to be start through the half shell. Actually saves Respa's life.
Huge.
Lazy's got a decent angle. Looking for just surveying the fight with that emo third-person perspective right now. Not a lot of pressure on him. Respa pops the heat haze to keep himself in stealth. Here comes a big king bomb over the backside. 2 kills already for Wolves in this fight. They might be able to stabilize here. The overtime is ticking out.
Lots of pressure. Overtime still going on, and they're going to leave it. Man, they put a lot going on into this, Nick, and Wolves Esports finally able to get a point off of this. It may not be the end, but it will be at least the start of something new. Hopefully they can adjust here. If I'm Wolves, I just cannot go to the point. I know what my problem is. I cannot leave this Canessa alone.
They spent a lot for it, though. Burrito have the Hyper Beam. They have the Headhunter. They have to find an answer for Lemonade. You're right. They
Master Riding, flank them.
Just send them a color straight at him.
Send everybody at him.
Hey, you know, gotta get it done somehow. He was on a, what, 20-something streak?
Yeah.
Finally got, that's the common denominator. They were able to defend there. That was the first time that they shut down Lemonade here. So hopefully some sort of response from Wolves, some sort of adjustment. Lemonade he's been positioning Barry safely at the start of these fights, though, so he's not making it easy.
Good. Good. That's another thing. You can get an immediate kill on the Lazy. That helps. But now I need to see the movement. Not on the point. Go get the sniper down. Hunt her down. Make sure she goes out. Lemonade just with almost no health there. And they're content to sit on their laurels. But again, the problem will stay forward. Wolves Esports, 62% counting, feeling pretty safe. But again, if they make any comeback, any move onto this point and start to get low, Canessa's going to make sure that they pay for it. And there is no kills yet. But Munistina is 472 health. And Bird gets the kill on the NTB. Simsalo takes down Sun Commander. So they do get some healing. But they've conceded the point. And I'm just wondering how are they going to get back on it.
They did get that nice pick onto Lazy, and they didn't press their man advantage. They just did set on the point. They got a lot of the progress done, though, 85%. So one small win here for Wolves, and they're going to be able to take this payload. Lazy finds 2 kills. Bonker does die on the point, but there's a lot of heat on this Ruckus right now. He's going to fall down. Lazy rolling in very aggressively, looking for even more kills in this fight. He's in the backline right now. Wisely likes to back up there. Beautiful stuff. Kills NTBs, puts 1,000 damage in him on his way up the stairs. And Burrito coming down the last 10%. No one from Wolves is going to be able to contest this for much longer now with the Headhunter being popped. A lot of big damage coming through for Lemonade. Just easy pick and shooting fish in the barrel here, driving it home. Burrito going to take the game in take the set in 2 games.
Well, I think I'm surprised at how that tail ended. I think it was pretty clear. And of course, you know, Wolves coming in, playing against some very good players, just I think got outmaneuvered in the draft. And unfortunately on Frozen Guard, you cannot let a Canessa be picked without having an answer for her.
For sure.
That's just a no-no, and it's a big deal. Even if you have flankers, it's difficult to kill a good Canessa. But with no flankers, it's nigh impossible, and that's what we saw here. Burrito take the win 4-1 and take a 2-0 lead in the set. Let's go to the scores and see what happened here. And the lowest,
pretty clear.
Yeah, the lowest deaths on the team, as I expected. Eliminate on the Canessa, 28-1, 99,000 damage.
Just the lack of response there. They could have, you know, you brought up a great potential solution. Throw some Master Ridings on the tanks and just send them straight to the back line at the snipers. And it looks like they were going for that. They took the more covered route to the right. They found Lazy, killed them immediately, but then they just went to the point instead of pressing their man advantage. Instead of, you know, Lazy was a big thorn in their side at 81,000 damage, but 28-1, 99,916 damage. Lemonade was clearly the biggest issue for Wolves, and they just didn't put enough pressure on him.
And that's where, you know, you take some of these veteran teams, and even Burrito will get caught out by D69 and say, even though we're both veterans here, sometimes we just have a better strategy and we execute it better. Here, I think Wolves just showing that they need to improve in the drafting process and improve in some of these tactics we've been talking about that allow Burrito to be consistently successful, or at least stay even when they go into these games. And also, I think the mutability of your strategy when you get into the game, when things don't go well, this should be a learning experience for Wolves to take this back home, to look at, to practice and say, what could we have done in a vacuum? What could we have done here to deal with Lemonade? And did we kind of just accept our fate here when so much was on the line for our wins?
So the first day is now behind us. Interlopers sitting at 0-4 after their 2 matches. 2-2 for Wolves, 3-1 for Burrito, and sitting happily at the top is District 69. with 4 wins and 1 loss.
Well, let's take a look at the schedule. Of course, this isn't over. We've got more coming tomorrow, and we've got another 2 weeks of this for Europe as well. Tomorrow, you'll get to see the North American side of things. First one will be Astral Authority versus Team Eager. Stolzy and Bitey playing against former teammates Cuss Cutie, Dosups, and the squad on Astral Authority. And then we'll move it over to AGG versus Xenasi. See Prince Danny, players like Smidgen coming out and trying to prove that they are the best here. And you might see some Bubble Boy as well over there. Astral Authority versus AGG will follow up on match 3. We'll get to see those teammates and friends go against each other one more time. And then Eager versus Xenasi to wrap things up. We'll see, again, another former teammate matchup, Smidgen and Stolzy there facing off in match 4. So it'll be an exciting day tomorrow, Nick. A lot of action there. You don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. And make sure to get out there, get your first wins of the day. We've got Radiant Chests on the line this weekend. So for every first win of the day, you will receive a Radiant Chest. Get some cards, maybe some skins, some essence. If you're really lucky, I know everybody's out there starving for that.
Yeah, and these emotes, apparently, were the things that...
I've been getting a lot of emotes from my chest.
Hey,
I got all my Inara stuff in like my first 4 chests.
Oh,
on
really?
PTS last night.
Oh,
was pretty
man.
lit.
Too bad it's PTS, though, right? Because that doesn't translate to the...
I think it will.
Oh, okay.
I'm hopeful.
We'll see. All
Let me
right.
have this.
We'll see. Because nothing else translated. So, okay. Anyways, guys,
Sure.
that's gonna be it for today. We hope you do join us on the BTS, and you can find that on forums.paladins.com and play some Inara and check out the new test map rotation. Check out some of the new skins like Exalted Androxus that's available in the direct for purchase, and the new Tyra skin Baroness, which is available in the Colossal chest only.
Correct.
And of course, get your hands on those early. Make some videos, do some cool things, stream them to your fans, and check in with us as well. I'm sure we'll be active on our social medias, streams, videos, all that stuff over the next few hours. And of course, we will see you all tomorrow here. 3 p.m. is the start time. We hope it'll run a little bit smoother in the day, and appreciate everyone who was sticking with us throughout it. We know that it wasn't necessarily the smoothest, but we did finish it up in the end, and hopefully, you know, we sacrificed our bathroom time for you all. And we're going to go pee right now. You go enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great one from all of us here at High Res Studios. And as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all in the realm.